In West Wichita. This is The Game Plan on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Robinson on the right side breaks free. Bijan Robinson, touchdown Falcons, 81 yards. Tyler Luke from 44. That good. Holden, the kick is no good.
This is how you know it's a football Friday right here when we get you pumped up. A little football hype music to get the show going. Welcome in to the Renewal by Andersen Studios. Superior products, exceptional service with Renewal by Andersen. I always start every year off, James, when it's officially a football Friday with the latest version of the NFL's hype video, and this is what you're listening to right now. We got some exciting announcers, man.
Here he goes. He's going to try to beat him with his legs. As Alice runs after him.
Oh, shut up. We ain't watching that one. That's Drake May cheating on the last play against the Broncos, so we're not watching that one. 1410 AM, 93.9 FM, live streaming at KGSO.com. It is Wichita's #1 sports talk, KGSO. You can also find us in our app. You'll find that in the App Store at SC Wichita. And, of course, streaming across multiple networks, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch TV. James, how you doing?
Doing fantastic. The football's back. The turf is back. I know it's not really all of them back, but the feels are back. The feels are back, and I felt that yesterday.
And I've got a few questions already that we're going to talk about, and I've got some points to make about the games last night. You know, I'm just really not much of a preseason watcher, and quite frankly, I don't know how much I'm going to watch tonight or tomorrow. There's not going to be really for like my team. I mean, obviously, Bo Nix isn't going to play. There's a few starters are not going to play. For the Kansas City Chiefs, you won't see Mahomes. I doubt if you see Kelsey. Andy Reid said it would go Justin Fields, then Nussmeier, and then whoever the next guy's up is. I'm not exactly sure for the Chiefs tomorrow. But I will say this. I tuned in to a bit of the Steelers game last night, just mostly because I wanted to see what Will Howard could do. And I thought he looked good, 7-9, had 80-some yards. He was the second quarterback to come in. Mason Rudolph gets the start. Drew Aller's getting all the props because he had 153 yards, even though one of them came on a 74-yard catch and run. But he's getting all the props this morning from the guys that were on before us. I will say this about the Steelers just overall, and I realize they didn't have a lot of starters in the game, but they actually looked much better than I thought they would, to be honest with you.
I mean, I didn't watch this game, but looking at the box score, very accurate from all quarterbacks. A lot of different players involved. I didn't even realize Robert Tonyan was in Pittsburgh now, but he is, and he's going to be actually a very nice piece for that offense. So I think there will be some guys that you will remember, and I think those are they're not solidified starters, but they're veterans that can be starters maybe later in the season. So, like Ben Skoranek was on here. Travis Homer got a couple of catches. So, I mean, there's still a couple of names that we do remember, but it kind of seemed yesterday across the entire league that running the ball was a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, but I think part of that has to do with the fact that you don't maybe have all your starting offensive linemen in. And typically in these games, teams will start more of their defensive starters than they will their offensive starters. I don't know enough about the Steelers, to be honest with you, to tell you how many of these guys on their defense are going to be starters on the season. But I thought their defense played very well last night in the times that I watched. So, look, if most of these guys are backups, then the future's pretty bright. And maybe I counted Pittsburgh out a little bit too early in that division based off of what I saw last night. It's one preseason game, so I'm not going to be too over-judgmental on this. But maybe I did count them out a little bit too early.
It's way, way too early. But this, I think, is going to add a little bit of a story, I think, in Pittsburgh because, I don't know, the last couple of years, hasn't Aaron Rodgers missed at least one game? Didn't he miss a game last year?
Did he?
I thought he did.
He might have. He might have missed one.
But everyone overlooks the backup quarterback position, but you absolutely have to have that nailed down. Like that is such a crucial position to have. And obviously he doesn't get the playing time, and you don't want to see him get the playing time because that means your starter's out. But they need to be able to whether they want to admit it or not, they have to start looking for the future for their quarterback. They just have to.
Well, this is Aaron Rodgers' last year,
right?
Like,
so they're gonna have to find out and see. All right, who's got it? And obviously, I'm Mason Rudolph. Yeah, whatever. You're that bridge guy. You're not going to be there.
He's not
going to
be their starting future.
But it absolutely is between Aller and Will Howard.
Yeah. No, I would agree. And again, I thought Will Howard played well. He threw the ball well over the middle, threw into some tight windows. Probably could have had a touchdown. One of the receivers dropped one. And then they had a guy that I thought he was actually in, and even the announcers said that he was in. They go back and review it and say that he was down at the 1 yard line. So that would have been a touchdown pass for Will Howard had it not been overturned on replay. So, yeah, I thought so. And then the other one, and I just caught highlights of this because they kept showing highlights during the Pittsburgh-Green Bay game. But the Raiders, I mean, they get beat by the Cardinals, but still, like, they actually look like a team that kind of knew what they were doing. I thought it was
well, at least on the first drive.
Yeah. Well, and listen, I thought it was both kind of funny and also a slap in the face. But when they bring Mendoza in, like the entire stadium, dude, just erupts. Like they go crazy, and people have got Mendoza jerseys that they're holding up and banners and all this. And I'm thinking, if I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm like, damn, I've been in this league how long?
Right.
And these guys, they give this kind of a reaction to a rookie playing in his very first NFL game. And he did good when he was in, don't get me wrong. So the fans probably do have something to be excited about.
Oh, you led him to a drive or a touchdown on his first drive. So made a couple of really good throws too. But Mendoza, he just, like, he's a good quarterback, but he, like, when I watch his game and I watch how he carries himself, I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's just something about the guy that is odd. And he's an odd fella. He's an odd fella. I don't know if you saw him get asked about the Vegas Strip.
Yes.
That answer was awesome.
Okay, so this was always my, I don't know, you call it a knock on him, whatever you want to. I'm not making fun of him by any means when I say this.
He's just a little dorky.
He's like a fifth grader. It's like talking to a fifth grader.
That has great vocabulary.
Exactly. But it's like you ask a fifth grader a question, they go, well,
They have to explain their whole process.
Right. So I was leaving my house and I turned to the left and I walked down the street and I seen these bright lights and I realized that it wasn't for me and like it's that's what it is. And I said that last year when he was in Indiana. I'm like, this dude, the way he handles an interview does not match his toughness on how he plays on the field.
No. It's pretty funny, and I bet you that the Raider fans have a little bit more fun with this as he's there a little bit longer. But the guy can play, and I think that it throws people off when they see him talk and they see him interact. It's like, there's no way this guy could go out there and drop 30 on me. Like, it looks like he should be in a lab somewhere.
He's a player, though, dude. He is a player. Like,
the way that he did that play, I don't know if you saw that play action pass. I don't know how many he did, but I think it may have been on the first play where he does the whole, he sells it where he like goes down and like hides, like how Peyton did. And I was like, there ain't no rookies doing that.
No, but that's also stuff that as time goes on, he'll outgrow. Like, he won't do that, right? He'll get to the lazy motion like everybody else.
Yeah, maybe.
But that happens. Again, I'm not really making fun of this guy at all. Like, he's a player. He is. He's just like the interviews, and he's real animated with his hands when he's talking. And it's just. Listen, did you really think that the Strip would be for him, though?
No.
Like, you knew that was not a place he was going. I guarantee you he takes the long route around just so he doesn't have to pass by a strip club while he's out there.
I mean, that's some way of maneuvering around Vegas if you're trying to avoid looking at one of those, because they're everywhere out there.
Either that or he just turns his head and puts his hand up.
He covers his eyes,
right,
like
yeah.
his scary part in the movie.
Exactly. They look good, though, man. I mean, I got to give the Raiders prop. They actually they moved the ball offensively. I thought their offensive line actually did a pretty good job for who was in there. They had one of their tight ends. I don't know if it's going to be one. I can't remember who it was now, but made one hell of a catch and run afterwards to score a touchdown. So I don't know. Maybe we can't count the Raiders out either.
Are you talking about Meyer?
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
I just caught the highlights.
Michael Meyer. Or Mayer. Yeah, I just caught the highlights. And that, I guess this is my question. Because these games were on the NFL Network. There were two on the NFL Network. And then there was supposed to be one on ESPN Unlimited. I still don't really know what that is. Apparently, you don't get that on YouTube TV. It's not regular ESPN. Because they had Little League World Series of Poker, and then some other shows. There was no NFL football that I found. So I got to pay $30 a month now if I want to get this other thing on top of already buying ESPN Plus. It's ridiculous.
I'm not doing it.
If owning or if buying is not owning, then pirating is not stealing. Like, I mean, let's just be honest.
Well, you'll have to teach me some tricks then, because I don't know. I have the NFL Sunday ticket, so imagine when the regular season comes, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine then.
But they don't put those games on preseason.
No.
It's just good, dude, to have football back. Like, it's, I know they were preseason games. And, again, if Will Howard wouldn't have been playing, I probably wouldn't have watched as much of it last night as I did. I've always liked Will Howard. Look, I've said this many times. I don't have any affiliation with KU or K-State. I don't. I root for both. Obviously, Wyatt and Stan are my good friends, so love those guys. But the K-State fans, when Will Howard first came to K-State, came down on him so hard. And I'm like, guys, what are you talking about? Like, this kid's good. He just needs some time. But he's going to be really, really good. And then he ends up being pretty good and then goes on to Ohio State, handles himself great, wins a national championship. So I root for the kid. So I wanted to watch him play last night.
Gardner Minshew looked pretty good, too. I don't know why the Chiefs just let him walk. Is it because he was injured? Was that why?
Well, I think that, and I think, too, I mean, I don't know what kind of money he wanted as a backup. Are the Chiefs going to put a huge investment in a backup to Patrick Mahomes?
Let me find his contract, and then let me just see. It's a 1-year, almost $6 million deal. What are they paying Fields?
I have no idea.
I'll tell you right now, I'd rather have Gardner Minshew than Justin Fields.
Well, you'll get to see tomorrow because Justin Fields will start.
Did they? Oh, the Jets absorbed a large portion of his remaining salary. But it doesn't say The Chiefs are responsible for $3 million, so they're only paying him $3 million. They could have paid Gardner $6 million. I don't know if that really does much.
Yeah, but they're so far over the cap, or they were until they started restructuring everybody. At the time, they probably thought, well, this is an easy way to save $3 million.
Maybe, I suppose.
There's 3 games on tonight. Denver at Atlanta, 6 o'clock on this unlimited. Tampa at the Jets on the NFL Network, and then Miami-Washington doesn't show that it's on at all. Tomorrow, you get Kansas City and the Rams at 3. I read this morning somewhere that all of the Chiefs preseason games will be on KSN here locally. And the NFL Network, it looks like, from a national standpoint. So there you go. Bunch of games tomorrow and nothing on Sunday. Sunday must be an off day for everybody. All right, call the show. We welcome in your phone calls this morning, 522-1410. We got a lot to get to today on the show. Speaking of the NFL, we will break down our final division today. That would be the NFC West, where if you listen to most experts, they think that the best team out of the NFC is in that division. So we'll talk about that today. We got 2 more teams to break down in the Big 12. That would be Texas Tech and BYU. So we're going to talk about them a little bit later on today. Mark Rogers, my buddy from the Sports Animal down in OKC, will join the show for the final segment. Until then, though, we want your phone calls. We welcome them. It is a football Friday. There is absolutely zero reason for our phones to be light today. We should have phone calls back to back to back to back to back all morning long. Talking football, we'll get into a little Major League Baseball before we get out of here as well. Big news came out yesterday for Wichita State and the men's basketball team, as they have now booked another non-con game, this time at Rupp Arena against Kentucky, James. Now, from everything I've read, this isn't a home-at-home series. This is just a one-off, right?
Yes, because the Kentucky Wildcats are fragile. SEC conference is fragile. They don't like playing on the road, and they're scared of the loud roundhouse. That's what we all need to be echoing.
That's the narrative?
That's what we need to be echoing. Mark Pope and his Cats, they wanted no part of the roundhouse.
Well, listen, if Mark Pope don't get things done this year, he wouldn't be back here at the roundhouse anyway, because I think he's on the hot seat.
Already?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's on the hot seat.
You cannot keep missing the NCAA tournament as Kentucky.
It's called a transition year.
Yeah, but he's in this year 3 or 4 for
This
him
will
now?
be year 3.
Yeah.
You got to give a guy 4 years.
No.
Minimum.
Are you kidding?
You got to have a whole recruiting
Listen,
class.
I'm not disagreeing with your sentiment there, but I'm just telling you that's not the way it works.
You got to have a full 4 years of a recruiting.
Not if you're Kentucky, not if you're North Carolina, not if you're Kansas.
North Carolina's
UConn.
fallen off since Roy left,
And guess what? They fired their coach.
and they made a couple of.
And their coach went to the national championship game, or was it the championship game or the Final Four?
I think it was Final Four.
That KU beat them.
Oh, that might have been the Natty.
What, just 2 years ago? And got fired.
Yeah,
There's no such thing as 4 years anymore for these guys. The boosters don't allow it. They publicly invest too much money now. See, before it was all behind the scenes and nobody knew. But now their names are out there. Now we know that Cody Campbell, the billionaire oil guy, we know who he is. We didn't know when he was doing shoebox money. So they're not going to be embarrassed by a losing team. It's the way billionaires think. I mean, I don't really know how they think, otherwise I'd be one, but still.
I mean, didn't they go? They went to the Sweet 16 their first year, right? A
Kentucky?
a regional semifinal. Is that the Sweet 16? Because 8 is 2-4. That's the final. So the semifinal for regional would be the 16 round of 16.
Yeah, but they would probably tell you if it was in first year, that was a leftover from what, Calipari's people?
Well, I got to imagine that a lot of those guys left when he left. Have to imagine. He won one more game in his first year than Calipari did in his last year. So I don't think there's been much of a drop-off, but the conference record, I think, is what I think you have a better leverage on, because he's 20-16 in conference play over the last 2 years. That's not going to cut it. But winning 46 games, winning 46 and 26, you win about 65% of your games.
Doesn't matter.
It's the conference ones that need to get better.
I'm just gonna make this statement right now, and we'll head to break. We're gonna talk a little bit more about this matchup on the other side. But I'll make this statement right now. If Kentucky doesn't go to the NCAA tournament and get at least to the Sweet 16, Mark Pope is gone.
Wow.
And I think that might even be a low expectation for Kentucky fans.
That's tough. I know a Kentucky fan. He doesn't think he's on the hot seat.
Talk to your boy Jay-Z at North Carolina. He'll tell you they say the same thing about the Tar Heels. We'll break this down a little bit more other side of the break, back after this.
Call the game plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410.
The game plan. KGSO.
40 to the 30. The Burgers are on.
High school football is almost here. And your one-stop source for all your high school football is your High School Football Guide from the Mid-America Sports Network. Stay tuned in and hear where you can pick up your copy. Catch each team's season schedule, read about each team and coach, and follow your favorite team all season long. It's the Mid-America Sports Network Football Guide, and it's coming to a location near you.
Even the finest jewelry needs repairs sometimes, and Wichita's first choice for full-service jewelry repair is Jewelry Savers. Whether you need ring sizing, stone setting, soldering, or shank repair, Jewelry Savers does it, along with lobster clasps, prong retipping, pearl restringing, chains shortened or lengthened, watch repair, watch batteries, watch bands, engraving, cleaning, polishing, even appraisals. Trust Jewelry Savers by Cabela's at K96 in Greenwich.
Jewelry Savers, we don't want $1 million, just a million friends.
Test drive a Grasshopper mower at Maximum Outdoor Equipment and Service. Grasshopper mowers offer decks with powerful and reliable operation, unmatched comfort, and a legendary cut that leaves your lawn smooth and manicured every time. Grasshopper mowers, committed to the cut. Visit Maximum Outdoor Equipment, south of 21st and Andover Road, or south of Kellogg on West Street, or MaximumOutdoor.com. We know mowers.
Maximum Outdoor Equipment.
Professional excavators and homeowners, safety always comes first, and safe digging is no accident. So before you begin your next digging project, remember to call Kansas 811 to have your underground utility lines marked for free. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. So play it safe. Put down the shovel, pick up the phone, and call 811 first. This message is brought to you by Kansas 811, reminding you that no matter if your digging project is big or small, don't make a judgment call. Always call 811 before you dig.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
It's back to school time, and Moneytown Pawn has been helping families save. Whether your student is joining the school band or orchestra, you'll find quality name brand instruments for hundreds less than retail. Looking for the perfect finishing touch? Shop our huge selection of new and pre-owned jewelry to help your student look their best on the first day of school. For over 60 years, Moneytown Pawn has been helping families get ready for back to school while stretching their budget. Stop by today and see why generations have trusted Moneytown Pawn, just south of Pawnee on Oliver. Burwell Construction has been a trusted name in the roofing business as a local company. Whether you're still trying to get a new roof from storms or have general wear and tear, call Burwell Construction at 316-794-3430. Burwell Construction will evaluate your roof and work with you from start to finish, even help with any insurance claims. Join the thousands of others and trust your next roof to Burwell Construction. 316-794-3430 or burwellconstruction.com.
It's Burwell, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
KGSO Studio, brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. Find them online at renewalbyanderson.com. Don't miss your favorite NFL games every Sunday right here on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Welcome back to the show. This portion of the show brought to you by our good friends at Andy's Frozen Custard. 4 locations, brand new one down in Derby, South Rock Road. Tell you what, what's it been, about 125 all week? I don't think it's going to be much better today. So about 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, you're like, man, I could use something good. Andy's Frozen Custard is your place. Stop by and see them. They make that frozen custard fresh in the store every single hour. Baked goods fresh every single day. Concretes, jackhammers, any kind of topping you want, whether it's candy, fruit, whatever, they've got it at Andy's Frozen Custard. Tell them you heard about them here this morning on the Game Plan and KGSO. Come on, 522-1410. I know these phones are working this morning. There's literally thousands of people listening to the show right now, probably thousands that are watching it. Call the show and be a part of it. Too much going on in the world of sports to stay quiet. That's why we do these local shows, is because we want to hear from you. So if you look at now Wichita State's non-con schedule, Cal State Northridge, all right, that's a good tune-up game to start. But then you get New Mexico into Charles Koch Arena, which has typically been a tournament team. You got the matchup. It's supposedly on November the 27th now with Kentucky at Rupp Arena. You got a Boise State matchup inside Koch Arena in December. You got a matchup with Kansas State at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City mid-December. And then what's not on their schedule, but I know that they're going to play, is they've got that matchup with USC as well. This is a good non-con schedule for Wichita State. A lot of quad one teams here.
I think that's what's necessary, though. Quad one teams will also help your RPI, right? Because if you play close games against good RPI ranked teams, and you shouldn't be penalized that hard, since they don't penalize the teams that are in the upper quadrant. So I think it's good. I think that that's a good recruiting tool to use as well. It's like, hey, we're in the American, but our non-con, we're playing some really good teams, and you'll get that exposure, and you'll get, people watching your games. Because, I mean, the reality of it is these scouts for these teams are probably not watching the less competitive conference games. They're going to look at the opponents and say, this is a worthy opponent. Let's see what you did against them. So I think that this will it'll cause a little bit more frustration amongst the fans, because they may not have as great of a non-con record as we would like to see. But with the average RPI rank being a little bit higher, it shouldn't penalize them too much.
Well, I think what you've done here is you've put yourself on the same level as probably Memphis. I mean, Memphis has a couple of exhibition games against Mississippi State and Arkansas, but then they play Iowa State. They play VCU. They got Vanderbilt. They got Louisville, who's going to be very good. They got Wake Forest. They're going to be in the American Showcase, where they're going to face Dayton. They've got Baylor, Texas. Like, they've got a really good non-con schedule as well. And you got to try to match that if you're Wichita State, as far as what you're putting together. These non-Power 4 conferences, man, with basketball, it's such a catch-22 on what you do here. Because you can go this route and get these quad one games, and you're right. I don't think they should penalize you, but unfortunately, if you lose them, and especially if you lose them by double digits, it seems like in the net you do get penalized if you're one of these non-Power 4 teams. But if you go out and play a light schedule, it doesn't help you. And unless you're in that top, probably, well, with the expansion of the NCAA tournament, I think you'll expand the net down to probably the top 60, where it used to be around the 40, 45. I think it'll be probably closer to 60. So you got to try to do everything you can to stay within that realm. And you're playing in a conference that typically has been a one-bid conference. So you got to do whatever you can to try to to put yourself out there. And like you said, get that exposure for one. And number two, if you can get a win here or there. I mean, going into Rupp Arena is tough for anybody, right? It doesn't matter if you're Wichita State, KU, North Carolina. It's a tough place to play. So even if you don't go in there and win, but you stay competitive in that game, and then you do knock off a USC or you knock off a New Mexico, that's huge for Wichita State.
Yeah, and they really want to enter themselves into that. Let's be respected as the group team. Like they want to be thrown in with those Indiana States, right? The Drakes of the world.
Right.
They want to be up there with them, and that's certainly possible. Like it's absolutely on the table for that to happen. And this, I think, is a good way to get to that point, right? Play better opponents. And like you said, if you can grab a couple of those and snag a few wins, like that gives you even more confidence for when you play your conference. So I think it can only do good. Now, obviously, the bad that can come out of this is, they just get completely blown out and it's not close. And then maybe the ranking for them isn't as respectable as it should be. But I think there's more good to come out of this than bad.
I respect Paul Mills for putting together this kind of schedule a lot. I think it's good for the program. I think it's good for the fans. So I'm glad that he's doing this. I've always said that. I didn't like some of those light non-conference games that we had last year on the schedule. I don't think it prepares you for much. And now that you've got extra playing games with Wichita being the host site for, 6 of them, right? Like you've got an opportunity here now. And I think the American is the perfect conference to steal another bid with the expansion of the NCAA tournament. A lot of people think, well, even with the expansion, they're just going to overload the Power Fours now. And that may be the case, but I think with this kind of schedule that they're laying out, it really does. You have to open your eyes to the fact that this team is going to go out. The only thing, if there's one thing I don't like about this, is, and people are going to say, well, Kentucky's never going to do that. This should have been a home. Like this should have been negotiated as a home.
It should have been, but
and even if you want to play it at interest, I don't care.
It's the SEC.
I know, but still,
they're special, right? They get catered to.
It ain't football.
It don't matter.
It's not baseball.
Certainly don't matter.
Softball.
Florida just won the Natty 2 years ago.
Okay.
They're special, right? They get special treatment. And we're allowed to say that out here because there's no SEC teams out here. We're Big 12 country.
Right.
So we all know it's not hard to see. You don't have to look between the lines, but they don't like to travel unless they absolutely have to. And they don't like traveling west. They don't like going west if they really don't have to.
I mean, sorry for their luck. This is college basketball.
You know what they'll say, Doug? They'll just tell you, it just means more. That's like their go-to whenever, an outsider has, a concerning question about the SEC. That's what they'll say.
They'll come to Kansas.
They'll just say,
they'll come play KU.
The SEC?
Yeah. Kentucky's been to Allen Fieldhouse.
You got to do it for Wichita State, too.
I get it. I mean, I understand. Wichita State's always been the little brother. I get it. But guess what? You put 10,500 in the Roundhouse, and 4 or 5 years ago, it was a top 10 venue in college basketball, according to Fox and CBS Sports. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to come and play in that atmosphere if you're a team like Kentucky. Isn't that what you're built for?
Should be.
I mean, you're Kentucky basketball. Isn't that what you're built for, is to get into those kind of environments, no matter if they're on the road or not? Like, that's what you talk about recruiting. That's what you recruit for. And I'm not saying that you go to recruit and go, well, we got the Shockers on our schedule. That's not going to open a lot of eyes, but you go into somebody and say, we're going to go play in a top 10 venue in college basketball on the road. Like, that should be something that you could use.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to disagree with you.
Now, unfortunately, the Roundhouse, I think, has lost a little bit of that status just because people aren't showing up to the games anymore.
And I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to take to change that narrative.
Win.
But do you have to win?
I've been here my whole life.
Do you have to win a conference tournament? Do you just have to win the regular season? Like what's going to have to be that defining moment to get it back to where the Roundhouse is consistently full?
I said there's 3 things I think that have caused the Roundhouse not to have 10-5 in it anymore. First of all is that, the program went through some down years where they didn't win. They weren't competitive. And I've lived here my entire life, and I can just tell you it doesn't matter if it's been a minor league sport, Wichita State, whatever it is, if you don't win, people don't show up. I think the other thing is it's very – college basketball is now very easy to access. Every game is on some platform somewhere where you can just – sit at home and watch.
ESPN Plus does a good job at covering like these lower and
right. Every game is on somewhere. And when it's January and it's 20 outside, you look at yourself and go, man, sitting right here in this recliner and watching it, I won't have to be cold, right? So I think that's part of the problem. And I think there's probably 2 more problems actually. The Greg Marshall thing still is hanging around, unfortunately, where some people are still pissed about how all that went down.
But weren't the ones that made that decision, they're not even here anymore?
No.
So who cares?
I know.
Get over it. Get over it.
And then I think the other thing is, and I've actually heard this from longtime season ticket holders that have given up their seats, they're just fed up with the way college athletics is.
And that's fair.
They're fed up with going and trying to learn a brand new starting 5 year after year after year.
And that's fair, but that's not a Wichita State problem.
No, look around the country. It's been a college basketball problem.
Yeah,
I mean, hell, go ask the people down in Oklahoma. Nobody goes to those games. Now, part of that is that people invest in the Thunder down there, but still, it's just the way it's been. But I've always said this about that last point. Again, you're going to have to get over it because otherwise, don't be a college fan. Because this is what we get. This is the way it's going to be from here on out. And either you get over it or you don't. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Doug.
Dakota, how you doing?
Good. I do agree with you. It's been a long time since I went to a college basketball game. It's hard to know the starting lineups for your own favorite team every year.
Well, and part of the other problem that you have, especially the midweek games with the American, is a lot of these games start at 6 o'clock. And that's sometimes tough for people that work.
Yeah, that is true. Like I used to go straight to Stillwater to watch Texas play when they were still in the Big 12.
Yeah?
When Durant was still here.
Well, then it shouldn't be a problem to run over to 21st and Hillside.
Yeah.
We got to get you back to a game, Dakota, this year.
No, I know. I would. Do you think Wichita State non-conference game would be pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, they've got some good opponents coming in.
I just hope they just don't. Any tournament games? Or no tournament this year?
Do I think Wichita State will make the tournament?
No. Like in the early part of the schedule, they always have like some kind of like the Maui tournament.
Yeah, it's not listed right now on their schedule what tournaments they're going to. The USC game is part of a tournament, I think, and I'm not sure what else they're going to get into. Right now all they have up on their schedule
are the five
non-con games that aren't part of the tournament. So I'm not exactly sure what they're getting into this year.
I just hope they just go maybe 15-5 in the non-conference game.
I don't think they're going back to Hawaii. They may be doing. I'm not sure where they're going.
Well, Hawaii didn't come here.
Yeah, but they've played in the Hawaii tournament.
The Maui.
They used to.
Maui
Yeah, they
Classic?
used to play in it actually quite a bit. But I don't think they've went the last couple of seasons.
Who wants to do that at the beginning of the season? It's a lot of travel. To start your season off by doing that, that's pretty. That's rough.
I like the Battle for Atlantis tournament. I think that's a good tournament. Plus, that'd be a great place to go.
Doesn't Vegas have one too?
Oh, there's a ton of them.
And I'm ready to see how Hawaii does in basketball.
There we go.
Well, that's James. He knows all about it.
I love to hear that, Dakota.
I know.
I love to hear that. Yeah, losing your best player last year definitely hurts. Your top scorer. You couldn't convince him to come back for his final year, so that's a little unfortunate. But I have all the faith in Gano and finding talent. Because he's always been good at finding international talent and finding guys across the country, and so I don't expect that to go away.
Hey, he can't go get those ex-pro players though.
No, he's never done that, but he's always good at finding those guys that want to play overseas. So it's going to be interesting playing in the new conference this year with all these new teams. So I'd like to think that, losing Boise, Fresno State, those guys, that opens the window a little bit more for Hawaii, because those two teams always gave us problems. So, now I'm expecting Hawaii to kind of just fill right into that spot.
Are they in the Big West?
So they're moving to the Mountain West for everything next season. So they were in the Mountain West for football and the Big West for everything else, but now they're leaving the Big West. They're in the Mountain West for all sports now, which I think is long overdue.
Yeah. I thought they was in the Mountain West a long time ago.
It's like high school basketball.
Yeah, for football. For football, they were in the Mountain West, I think, since 2010 or 2011. So they've been there for a while, but all their other sports were in the Big West.
I'm glad they're doing that, because it's like in high school sports, like you're 6A in one sport and 5A in the other. It's confusing.
Yeah, that I don't agree with at all. No.
Well, the two different conferences are just confusing too. It's hard to keep up with.
Yeah. And do you have is Bishop Hale going back to Oklahoma to play that Catholic school?
They are not. They dropped a couple of those schools, so they're not playing Derby this year, and they're not playing Bishop McGuinness. They instead added Topeka, Washburn, Rule, and Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I think, if I remember the schedule right, the Topeka game is up there, and then Pittsburgh comes to Carroll this year, I believe. I don't have it right in front of me, but I think that's the way it's lined out.
Give it 5 more years. May South and Mays will be all in 6A down the road.
Yeah, probably. Probably. And you'll probably see the same thing out of both the Goddard schools as well.
Yeah. That's all.
All right, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate the phone calls always, Dakota. All right. Dakota's in.
All right. I need to make a correction.
Okay.
Technically, the men's and women's volleyball team and the water polo team and their sailing teams will be in the Big West. Everything else will be in the Mountain West.
I kind of think that Hawaii's got to be ranked number 1 in sailing, aren't they?
Volleyball. They're no joke in volleyball, but sailing, paddling, canoeing, they got to be up there.
Yeah, it's got to be. We're wrapping up the hour next.
This portion of the game plan brought to you by Southwestern Remodeling, Wichita's full-line remodeler since 1970. See our project galleries at southwesternremodeling.com.
The game plan. KGSO.
The wait is
is officially over. The NFL is back on Sports USA. Every hit matters, and every play sets the tone.
He's going to throw. He's got a man all alone at the 20. Caught. 10, 5. Touchdown, Denver. Cortland Sutton.
It's where the rookies fight for their spot and the veterans stake their claim. This Friday, it's the Denver Broncos at the Atlanta Falcons on your home for the NFL, Sports USA.
Pre-game Friday at 5:30 right here on Wichita Sports Station, KGSO.
It's time for you to experience the expertise in beer, wine, and spirits. With 2 locations across Wichita, Auburn Spirits is passionate about providing you with the most exclusive wines, unique beers, and world-class spirits. Whether it's for the big game, a night with family and friends, or any other special occasion, Auburn Spirits takes your celebration to the next level. Visit our east or west location in Wichita or find out more information online at auburnspirits.com.
Tricked out, decked out, check us out, Truck Stuff.
You've probably already heard that Truck Stuff is the place to go to lift, level, or lower your truck. And of course, we have an enormous in-stock selection of bed covers, running boards, and floor mats. But did you know that we do wheels and tires, gear swaps, and spray and bed liners? Stop by today to deck out your ride at Truck Stuff at the corner of Central and Washington.
Tricked out, decked out, check us out, Truck Stuff. Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. Right now, Hog Wild is serving up a $5.99 meal that's big on flavor and easy on your wallet. Get a 1-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Want brisket? Upgrade to our tender slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Pulled pork, juicy chicken, and hot links. Everything is smoked fresh, made daily, and piled high. This is real barbecue at a price that's hard to beat. When you want big flavor and a big deal, head to Hog Wild for the $5.99 meal deal today. Great food, great price, great barbecue. Join us for lunch or dinner or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 6 locations in Wichita, also in Derby, El Dorado, Hutchinson, and Salina.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you. But don't be late, we close at 8.
Across Kansas, new equipment is ready now at Lang Diesel Incorporated. From Massey Ferguson tractors built for straightforward, dependable performance to Fendt machines engineered for next-level efficiency, it's all here. With 10 locations, Lang Diesel makes it easy to get the equipment, parts, and support you need fast. Visit Lang Diesel Incorporated today. Find your nearest location at ldi.us. Lang Diesel, your Kansas Fendt dealer for over 35 years.
Don't miss a minute of Wichita's sports station. Listen online anytime at KGSO.com.
Welcome back to the show as we wrap up hour number 1 on this Football Friday. If you want to save yourself a little bit of money, you can do that by getting a hold of our friends at English Rentals and Trash Service. Whether it's for your home or your business, they'll take good care of you. All the services that you need and expect from your trash company, but at a better price. Jump online, check them out, English-Rentals.com. That's English-Rentals.com. Then give them a call, find out when they can come to your area and take care of you. It's local, which is all you need to know. Instead of dealing with one of these corporate companies where every quarter your money goes out of this state, keep it right here local with English Rentals and Trash Service. That's English-Rentals.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about them right here on KGSO and the game plan. We want to hear from you, 522-1410, Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines. Call the show, be a part of it. Coming up here at the top of the hour, we will start our breakdown of the NFC West, our final division to look at in this year's NFL. As we've been giving you the good and the bad of every division. So what some believe to be probably one of the most competitive divisions, the NFC West, here at the top of the hour. Until then, if you want to talk about any of the preseason games from last night or what we got coming up this weekend, then you're more than welcome to call the show at 522-1410. It's kind of a crazy weekend for the preseason because most of these coaches have already come out and said that a good portion of their teams will not play in these games, like their starters, I should say. They're kind of using the first preseason game, I think. I wonder if we will start to see next week cuts already starting to happen. Because it seems like this year, the first preseason game is what they're using to evaluate their talent.
I think that's fair. Because I want to say by week 3, by the final preseason game, all they have left are guys that are in position battles. Week 1, it's everybody. Week 2, they'll probably shrink it a little bit, get a good idea. And then week 3, it'll be just position battles.
They got until the 53-man roster has to be set by August 30th. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Devin, what's going on, man? Good to hear from you early.
Packers are off to a hot start, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Football's back. Hey, it was just good to see some football on the TV. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I know that the Packers, defensively, they didn't look great. But, I mean, listen, I don't know how many of their starters were in there last night on that side of the ball.
Right. Who's that? Where did that quarterback come from? The Steelers, not Will Howard, the other guy.
He was Drew Aller? Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State.
That kid's nice. He's a rookie?
Yeah. Yeah, he played
pretty well.
He got hurt, his junior year, and then last year played, but, coach gets fired and really wasn't all that great last year at Penn State. So a lot of people kind of projected that when he got into the NFL, you would really see what his talents were. That, he played his game was much better than he played last year.
Yeah. I learned something new, too. I didn't know McCarthy was actually from Pittsburgh.
Oh, I didn't either.
Did you guys know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he's actually originally from there, and his office, he can actually see the school that he went to and everything. I kind of read up on the story last night. It's kind of interesting. So I thought this was kind of like hey, we don't know the direction our team's going in. McCarthy's would be good with Rodgers. It's a good hire for a year. Let's figure it out. But I guess it kind of runs a little deeper that, that's home for him. So it was kind of cool to read that story about that. I didn't realize he was from there.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give them credit offensively. I thought they looked pretty good last night. I really did, even with the backups. I thought that the offensive line did a nice job. They ran the ball fairly decent. Both Will Howard and Aller were accurate last night. I didn't see a lot of Mason Rudolph. I didn't start watching the game until Will Howard came in.
Me as well. I didn't even know the game was on, Doug.
You're not a fan.
Oh, my gosh. Don't start with me. You know how busy I am?
You got to know, Devin,
because, right
Devin, here's the reality of it. And I'm going to knock on wood. But say number 10 ain't back there, you gotta know who to throw back there when he's not out there.
No, I agree. I mean, it's just I'm telling you right now, I think that, I hate saying this, but I think the Packers are going to have an off season this year. With all the new hires, all the players coming back from injury, who knows what Kraft's going to look like? There's just a lot of question marks. And that big trophy we went and purchased, I think, was the biggest mistake the Packers made.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for you, and I read yesterday that it's going to be mid-October before Micah Parsons joins the defense.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's because he's too busy playing with his podcast. He needs to get serious and start playing football.
Oh, maybe you should call Mahomes.
Drink some more water.
See you,
God,
buddy.
I'm so tired of this heat.
Maybe you should call Mahomes and figure out how to be ready for week 1. Hour 2 straight ahead.
Your latest news on KGSO.
From the news desk, I'm Andy Hoosier. Well, it's officially back to school for students across South Central Kansas, with yesterday being the first day of school back for those in the Wichita Public School District. And as the buses hit the road again to pick up students and to drop them off at the end of the day, law enforcement in the area is reminding individuals about ways to stay safe and make sure that the children are safe during the pickup and drop-off times.
If you see a school bus, pay attention to it. Know that there's going to be kids around. If you see the yellow light start flashing, that means slow down, just like at a stoplight. That does not mean try to get around it. It means slow down. When you see the red lights turn on and the stop arms come out, stop. Even if you're the opposite direction, stop. and wait for that school bus to continue.
In other news, bus riders and public transportation across the city of Wichita are able to pick up now a free one-time use voucher to reach a cooling center in the city of Wichita to help get some relief during the extreme heat going into the weekend. From the news desk, I'm Andy Hoosier.
News on KGSO is brought to you by Phil's Coins, buying, selling, and trading coins, bullion, and jewelry. It's 9344 West Central and online at philscoins.com.
The Wichita State men's basketball team has strengthened their non-conference schedule yet again. Wichita State yesterday announced that they will take on Kentucky at Rupp Arena in Kentucky. That game will be on November 27th. Kentucky is added to an already tough non-con schedule against New Mexico, Boise State, Kansas State, and USC. The Wichita Wind Surge took Game 3 of a 6-game series against Corpus Christi last night with a 5-1 win. Those two teams play again tonight at Equity Bank Park. That's sports. I'm Doug Downs. Sports Report brought to you by Burwell Construction. Decks, pergolas, patio covers, roofing, siding, windows, guttering, and more. 316-794-3430. Or online at burwellconstruction.com.
Fox Sports. Fox Kansas is Wichita's home for exciting live sports action. Saturday, it's an afternoon of exciting horse racing action as Fox Saratoga Saturday showcases the Christoph Clement Turf Stakes from 2 to 5. Then 2 MLB National League contenders square off in primetime as the Brewers battle the Dodgers at 6. And on Sunday, IndyCar NICS Racing takes to the streets of Markham, Ontario with the Ontario Honda dealers Indy at 11. Fox Sports. Fox Kansas. Channel 24. Cox Cable Channel 4.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience? Look no further. Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital and 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Kingman Healthcare Center was recently named a Top 20 Critical Access Hospital by the Chartist Center for Rural Health. Top 20 in the entire nation. Come see for yourself what all the celebration is about. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website at kingmanhc.com.
Right now, Rusty at Ford is making it easier than ever to save. Get 2.9% financing for 84 months plus a $1,000 rebate on all 2026 F-150s. With dealer discounts and 2 years maintenance on us, now's the perfect time to drive home in a new truck. Looking for something else? We have 500 new and used vehicles to choose from. And don't forget, we'll give you up to $5,000 over KBB for your trade. Visit rustyatford.com. Simply the best place to buy. With approved credit, 2 years or 25,000 miles maintenance. See dealer for details. Raptor's not included.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm James Guerin. Kaufman Seeds is getting ready to host their upcoming row crop field tours, heading to Yoder on August 25th and Larned on September 9th. They'll be walking through the latest traits, genetics, and seed treatments heading into the upcoming planting season. I had the pleasure of sitting down with Dustin, owner and president of Kaufman Seeds, and I asked him if there was any kind of specific corn, soybean, or grain sorghum varieties or traits that are showing the most promise in local test plots this season so far.
So each of our fall field days, we will cover corn, soybeans, grain sorghum, forages, all 4 of those different crops. In corn, we'll be looking at all different corn traits from Bayer and Corteva, and so, just showing the offerings and the differences between all of those different corn traits. Soybeans, we will be looking at both Extend Flex as well as Enlist platforms, and so those work in different areas across the state in different situations. So yeah, we'll be looking at all of those different details. Seed treatments, I don't know that seed treatments are really showing up great this year. The drought that we're experiencing is not really favorable to be looking at the differences. Probably not a great year to compare seed treatments.
I also asked him if there were any new offerings or technologies that they will be showcasing that extend into 2027 and beyond.
So there's not any new traits that we'll be looking at starting for 27. We'll be talking about the new Bayer soybean trait, the Viconic trait on soybeans, and we'll be talking about in corn the VT4 Pro. So those will be the main traits that we'll be looking and talking about. We won't actually be able to look at any because those are still in the soybeans are still in regulated trials, so we'll talk about those new genetics, but we won't have an opportunity to look at anything yet.
The last day to RSVP for the Yoder Field Tour will be on August 21st. Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network.
We start you off with a chance of a shower or thunderstorm around with some cloud cover in south central Kansas. Likely staying dry, though, unfortunately, in Wichita. As we get into the afternoon, going to be another scorcher, a high near 105. Heat index could hit 107. Wind, it'll be out of the south, gusting to about 25. Late in the day and into the overnight, another thunderstorm or two not out of the question. Overnight lows eventually dropping to 79. We'll keep a slight chance of rain in early and late on Saturday. Highs in between near 105 again. In the Cake First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Frank Waugh.
At 7 o'clock. It's currently 78
This
degrees.
is Wichita's sports station, K230BY, 93.9 FM, 1410 AM, and 99.7 HD3. KGSO Belle Plaine, Wichita. Broadcasting live from the KGSO studios in West Wichita. This is The Game Plan on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Here we go. It is hour number 2 of the game plan right here on Wichita's number 1 for sports talk, KGSO, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM. You know you can catch us online at kgso.com. You can catch us through our app where you can do about anything. Listen anytime, anywhere. Call us straight from the app. Connect through our social media. Keep up with our schedules. Take poll questions. You name it. It all happens in the app. You download that at SC Wichita. You can ask your smart speaker to just simply play KGSO, and it will fire up for you. Or you can always watch, listen, leave comments for the show on multiple platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch TV. Doug and James hanging with you in the Renewal by Andersen Studios. Installation done right on schedule. You get that with Renewal by Andersen. Good morning to our Bayou buddy up on Facebook. What's he say? R.I.P. Skip. Replying to Devin Slane's comment. And Devin says it's 2026. Do we still need commercials explaining how to act around a school bus? We're absolutely cooked as a society. That was part of the news story, I guess, is that we ran at the top of the hour. How to act around a school bus. You would be surprised how many people I see blow past school buses that have stop signs out.
You know, and what I think it is, and I think I can, I'm not saying that I've done this, because I haven't, but I've never seen, you know how you're not supposed to, even on the other side of the lane, you're not supposed to go. You're supposed to stop.
Yes.
I've never seen a kid cross the street.
Oh, I have.
I've never seen it. So, and obviously it happens, but I've never seen them cross the street and do all that, but obviously it's still going to bring a danger if you're reckless around a bus. Just be patient. Like that. It sucks. They go slow. I understand that, but if you're witty enough, you'll know exactly where they stop at, and you'll plan accordingly.
I live out in the county, and maybe you see it out there more because the buses have these long county roads that they stop on, and a lot of times the houses are across the street.
On the other side.
So I see it quite a bit, actually. Out there, I don't know how much it happens in the city. But yes, if the stop signs are out, both lanes of traffic have to stop. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Well, the reason we have to have these commercials, James, is because there's more people in this world that lose their minds when geese are crossing the street than they're concerned about when kids are crossing the street.
Well,
that's the reason we have to have the commercials.
You can't just plow out the geese either. Like they...
If people are going to lose their mind, well, and the thing, I'm not just being honest. The thing is, there's been a few videos I've seen posted where literally these geese are crossing a really, really busy 2 lanes on each side, and they just run out there. And sometimes cars on the other side of the lane can't see the geese in the middle. And at the point when the geese are literally right in front of them, you want them to slam in the telephone pole to the right of them, or do you want them to slam into the car that's to the inside of them? I mean, and I'm not saying there aren't people that have just I'm not stopping and ran geese over. But, I mean, that's unfortunately the reason we have to have these commercials telling people what the rules are. Because, I mean, you do need to be aware of your surroundings. Obviously, if there's a school bus with lights on, you need to slow down, you need to stop, what have not. Unfortunately, that's the reason we have the commercials. But we digress. You guys were talking earlier as I was driving in this morning about the Wichita State, playing Kentucky and strength of schedule. and how many teams, are going to get in, not get in. It can't. It's just something that pops in my mind right off the bat. If I'm telling you guys, like what happened last year, the NCAA committee is looking at leaving Auburn out, Oklahoma out, or a Wichita State team that finished second in the AAC but did not win their tournament. Which of those three teams do you think they're leaving out when they expand?
Well, I mean, obviously Wichita State's probably the one that they're going to leave out.
Unfortunately, and I mean it in the strongest sense of ways, because I am a Wichita State fan, unfortunately, because they are SEC teams. And that's just, they got 10 teams in last year. They're probably going to get 13 or 14 in this year, which there's only 16 teams in the SEC. Let's just go ahead and let's say guarantee the SEC, every single team's going to the tournament, because that's where we're going, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's hope not. Let's hope that some of these spots in these play-in games are reserved for some of these teams that are outside of the Power Four, because – look, I think that's what, will make the – now, I don't want them to just put anybody in there, don't get me wrong. But I would rather see the second-place team out of the American or the third-place team out of the American go into one of these playing games than the 8th or 9th team out of the SEC or ACC or Big 12 go.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not trying to hate on any Oklahoma fans per se. It's not because you guys just beat us in baseball. I'm not trying to bag on Oklahoma, but I would love, for what you just said, Doug, I'd love for a second-place Wichita State team to get to play, and like we discussed a month or so when they announced the news, they have the ability to play at home. So I would love to see an Oklahoma basketball team get in and come to Wichita to play Wichita State, because Oklahoma, I mean, they can sit there and say, well, our basketball tradition per se is better, which you can debate that. Oklahoma is the only team in the United States of America. They lead the NCAA in tournament victories with no championships. So they can win some games, but they don't advance further on to win it all. So, yeah, they would want to come to Wichita to beat what should be a competitive Wichita State basketball team at home. I think that would be a good game. Again, it's probably going to go back to, to the money, though. Are the four-letter, stations and the Foxes of the world and what have not going to want to rather, whoever's covering the games rather going to want to see an Oklahoma or an Auburn team, or they're going to see, want to see Wichita State. It's probably going to come down to money, in dollars. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's unfortunately the world that we live in.
And, the other thing, too, you guys were talking about, I thought you had mentioned, with the way things are going and everything's changed now with NIL and teams and players, coming and going. I guarantee you there's probably 99% of North Carolina Tar Heel fans that if you'd have told them a year ago there was a chance that Seth Trimble could come back and play at North Carolina for his 5th year, but that's not going to happen because the coach is not going to have a potential roster spot for him and or make one for him. But instead, he'll just go to Louisville and get paid $3 million to go to Louisville. What the hell? What is going on with college sports? I mean, he literally was the kid that took down Duke at home, hit the winning shot. How is he not in Carolina Blue, or did they not make room for him?
No, because they didn't think that he was going to be able to come back. Like, this was a deal that this judge in Denver did, overriding the NCAA, and now you got all these kids out there that want to come back to their teams, and there's no more roster spots because their teams didn't think they were going to have that opportunity, so they went out and filled them. Like, this is an absolutely horrible thing that one federal judge in Denver, Colorado made a decision that just basically turned not only a bunch of kids' lives but a bunch of coaches' lives kind of upside down.
Yeah, I think, discussing it obviously with some other people that are like-minded in following Carolina basketball like myself, I think potentially it probably what happened behind closed doors. Because let's put it this way: if Roy Williams had went to Coach Malone and said, "Listen, I need Seth Trimble on this roster. I need Seth Trimble. He is Carolina basketball. He played for 4 years. He's gave everything to North Carolina, and I need him on this roster." I guarantee you they would have found a place for him. Now, would he have been potentially starting? Because they brought some players in. There's a question of whether he would had actually even started, even if he was put back on the roster with the talent they brought in, i.e. professional, players like, from Europe, like everybody else is doing. But back to Trimble, so it comes down to, if you can't get a roster spot for him, what have not, it's, what would he have gotten paid? And I don't think there was any way that North Carolina was paying him $3 million to stay there. I know he wasn't getting paid that last year.
Well, listen, if North Carolina has ex-professional players on their roster, they better get them off, because the one thing the judge did rule was that will be upheld, that you no longer can have professional players overseas or in the States on your roster.
Yeah, they're overseas. I don't know if they actually played professional basketball. I'm not trying to, say we shouldn't be doing this, but I mean, it's just one of those things. I think it wasn't Izzo or somebody else who came out and was talking about how they're done with the players that played, whether it was semi-pro, professional, or G League, overseas or whatever. They're still considered professionals. But anyway, it's a mess, and I thought I'd chime in on that. I hope the expansion doesn't go that way. I hope there are more teams like a Wichita State. They just, obviously, we want them to win the league, so that we're not worrying about this come the end of the season. But I'd hope that they would give more teams an opportunity, and not just the SECs and ACCs of the world. So, guys, have a great weekend.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, James. Appreciate the phone call. 522-1410. If you want to weigh in, we were talking about this yesterday, Sasha, Jay-Z, and I, off the shows, about all this that's going on with college basketball, because you kind of have the same thing going on here. I mean, technically, Giles and Boyd could come back, but there's no roster spots. Like, Paul Mills went out and filled them thinking that these guys had to move on, like they had no more eligibility. And what are you going to do? I mean, you probably have guys on your roster that don't play a lot that you could move off, but is it really fair to them to do that?
No, it's not. It's not. So, I mean, anytime that a ruling or a judge does something, it's obviously going to be tried. So
Now, I thought, and I think it was Stan Weber on one of the shows, said these kids could come back, but they couldn't go to a different school. They had to come back to the school that they left. Obviously, that's not true. And Greg Sankey yesterday, or Tuesday rather, sent a letter to all of his schools and basically said, do not bring any of these kids back, because we think this judge's ruling is going to get overturned, and then we're going to have a mess on our hands. And he also made a reference in that letter that the SEC had a strict rule that kids couldn't transfer within the conference. But that's not true either, because we've seen that out of the SEC.
I want to say that I thought I heard that too.
It was in that article that came out yesterday, in that letter that he put out there. But we know kids have transferred from one school to the other within that conference, so maybe it's a rule that nobody follows. Maybe it's a rule that the coaches are going, I don't really care what
you
Sankey
have to
says.
do it during the winter window.
Okay.
If you want to go within the conference. So you can't go to the spring window and then go within. So I think that's what it was.
All right. So there is a stipulation
right
to the rule.
Grad students, there's no difference for grad students.
Oh, so they can go wherever they want,
yeah.
Is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That makes sense. And I've always been on the side of, if you've already graduated, feel free. Do whatever you want. Like, you've given your time. You did what you were supposed to do. So, if you want to go on and move on somewhere else, then feel free. I've always said that I was okay with that on a transfer. If your coach leaves, I'm okay with that on a transfer. But that's about it. Not much of anything else. And Louisville all of a sudden must have got a lot of money, because they're bringing in everybody. They have built out a team that I'm going to tell you right now, like, to me, they probably have the best chance at winning the national title. Look at who all they've put on that team.
Oh, we're talking about basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, not football.
Okay, I was thinking for a second.
Although I think they will be better in football.
I think they will be too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about their roster. I'm not even in college basketball mode yet, so I haven't even looked that far out in the future. But I mean, you got to think that Pitino left a mark there, and he absolutely made that program. I don't want to say they put him on the map because they've always been decent, but I think he took them to another level, and then the guy who came in after him, I think, has just taken that and has run with it. Has ran with it.
I mean, just this year he's brought in Seth Trimble, Flory Badunga from Kansas, and Jackson Shielstead. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good 3 right there. And I'm sure we'll build around that even more. All right, let's get to some more football here, because I said in this segment that we were going to talk on our final division of good and bad, and that is the NFC West. So yesterday, I'm listening to Colin Cowherd, and he's talking about this division and basically thinks that the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers, all 3 are Super Bowl contenders. The Rams and the Seahawks, 1 and 2, the 49ers right there, which doesn't say much for the Cardinals in this deal. So let's talk about the Cardinals first. Jeremiah Love last night looked terrific. Jacoby Brissett, I thought, played well. And Carson Beck played well in the first game, so you think that there's a shot that, you got a couple of quarterbacks now for the Cardinals. I think if the Cardinals were in any, you move the Cardinals to the NFC South, we may be talking about them a little bit higher than what we are, but they're in a division that's just a gauntlet, man. Like, how do you get better in this division? They're similar to the Raiders of, you've done some good things, but are you anywhere close to good enough to compete?
Yeah, it's a tough position for them to be in. Did you watch any of those highlights?
I did, a little bit.
Did Jeremiah, I don't know about you, but the way that he was running the ball reminded me a lot of another running back. Did you get that feeling? Like the way that he took the handoff off, and then the way that he was making those cuts, it looked very similar to Adrian Peterson. It looked very similar.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Very similar. He runs hard, and I know this will be fixed, but he runs a little tall, like AP did when he first came in the league.
But he did that at Notre Dame.
He's going to have to fix that. You can't run tall in the NFL. You'll get wiped out.
I don't know. Roger Craig made a pretty good living doing that.
Yeah, but that's not.
It was a different time.
Not everybody can do that. He's going to have to learn to bring his central, the central of his body lower.
Right. Yeah.
He'll cut faster. He'll make more guys miss, and he made guys miss. Don't get me wrong, but he looked a lot like Adrian Peterson yesterday. At least his movement did. But they're going to have to find a way to not overwork the guy. Like the Raiders, they didn't overwork Genty, and they made sure he still got his experience. Like he still got a good amount of playing time, but they didn't overwork him. And that, to me, could be the bad here for Arizona, is they don't have that solidity. They don't have that it at quarterback because, Brissett's there, and he'll win you a couple of games, and he'll keep you in a lot of games. I mean, we saw in the back half of last season, that connection with Michael Wilson. They were in a lot of these games. They just couldn't quite get over the hump. And I'm going to go out on a limb with a hot take. If Marvin Harrison doesn't have a good season this year, he's gone.
He's got to have a good season, doesn't he?
I think he has to, but if Larry Fitzgerald was able to have a good career early in his career with, who knows, was that quarterback in the mid-2000s for the Cardinals? Before Kurt Warner, was it Jeff Blake? Oh.
Wow. There's a name that I didn't think would ever be pulled out.
But yeah, that was the state of Larry's quarterback. So I mean, Marvin's got to be thinking somewhat of the same thing. Like, dude, I just want someone that can throw me the ball.
Doesn't Arizona don't they remind you of Atlanta? You got this great running back.
Bit.
You got receivers that kind of need to prove themselves. You got a quarterback that maybe he can get it done, maybe he can't. I will say this. I was, in the highlights that I watched, I was pleasantly surprised on how well the offensive line for the Cardinals played. And even in the game before that, I thought they played well, which has been an issue.
Yeah, it's been a pretty bad. But they did bring in Josh Sweat over from Philadelphia. He's injured right now, but we should be expecting him out there for most of the season. And then offensively, yeah, it's 2 new offensive linemen, and then they brought in Kendrick Bourne from the Niners. So he had a couple of games where he was pretty unstoppable. But I mean, he's not a needle mover. He's not someone that, teams are gonna game plan against. But I mean, with that Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson, and Trey McBride trio, I mean that's a pretty decent trio to have. And then you also include your rookie running back. I mean, things are looking up for the Cardinals, and I don't expect them to win 3 or 4 games. But man, I don't even know if they win one in the division. You know that they're good. They're going to be competitive against the Rams.
Do you want to know what their first 11 games are? At the Rams, Seattle, at San Francisco, at the Giants, Detroit. At the Chargers, Seattle, at San Francisco, at New York, Detroit at home, at the Rams, Denver, at Dallas, at Seattle, the Rams at home, at Kansas City.
That's not a 4th place schedule.
That's their first 11, dude.
That's not a 4th place schedule.
They could be, I mean, seriously, they could be 0-11. They probably won't be, but they'll
probably win. They'll probably win 2 of those conference games.
Maybe. Against who, though?
I could see them beating the Niners at home. They always give the Niners fits.
That's their first. And then they got Washington and Philadelphia after that. I mean, they really don't have a break until their bye week in week 14.
Yeah, last year in, was it week 3? Niners only beat the Cardinals by 1, 16-15.
Okay, but the Niners were like beat up the whole year.
This was week 4.
They were still beat up the whole year.
I don't think they were beat up in week 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Two wins in that first 11, maybe 3 if you're lucky. Still one somewhere. They're just in such a gauntlet of a division. If you listen to Cowherd talk, he'll tell you that the 49ers are the team that could be the surprise here, even though most people would pick the Rams or the Seahawks. That if the 49ers stay healthy, that Kyle Shanahan did a great job last year with a team that was beat up. And I even heard him say yesterday that Brock Purdy is starting to emerge as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, we should talk about him in the same breath as we do some of the greats.
I'll pump the brakes. I'll pump it a little.
I mean, the 49ers have talent. It's just a matter of, can this team stay healthy? I've said this 1,000 times. Christian McCaffrey, it's like this dude is made out of paper mache.
He played a full season last year.
Last year? Is that the first one ever?
I think that's his 3rd out of 8.
Yeah.
I think he's only played 3 full seasons, yeah. But the last time that he had some kind of tightness, he only played 4 games that year. That was 2 years ago when he had the same tightness that was reported in preseason.
Yeah.
We're getting the same thing now, and so people are wondering, oh, boy, is this going to be another one of those years where he's in and out of the lineup?
I mean, your 3 superstars tend to get hurt a lot. McCaffrey, Mike Evans, and Deebo Samuel.
And don't forget about Kittle.
And Kittle.
They got to get away from that substation, man. That topic is actually growing amongst the public. I think people are starting to realize.
Conspiracy?
No, because that's a real thing. Like, why would you want to be practicing around all those electrical currents that are just free flowing through the air? You know, these guys are the best athletes in the world. You'd think they'd make you Superman. No, the thing messes with your head. It makes you all fuzzy. It just throws you off. And so I don't know if that technically could have anything to do with like the muscles in your body. I'm not going to go that scientific, but I mean, that has been kind of a joke over the off season, and even I would say the last year. And I think Kittle might have brought something up about that, but as far as the actual team goes, I think this team has a lot of noise offensively, especially with this whole Ayuk thing that was going on. And it seemed like every year the Niners have a headache in the offseason and someone that's not happy with them, someone that wants to leave. Because wasn't Debo just doing this like a couple years ago? And now they didn't bring him. They did bring him back.
Ayuk is not even listed anywhere on any depth chart. You're just paying this guy for nothing.
You're paying this guy for him to talk.
Look at the depth chart of the 49ers if you go on the Alphabet Soup Channel's website. They have Q's next to almost every player, which means they're questionable. So they already got problems. It's crazy. I mean, this team, if you look at the roster, they're as good as anybody in the league. They got dudes. I mean, you got Bosa, you got Fred Warner, you've got, I would say Greenlaw, although Denver took a chance on him and he didn't do anything for them. You got Stout, you got Green, like you have dudes all over this roster. And I a little bit of it I'm biased on because he's Shanahan's son, but I do like Kyle Shanahan. I think he's a good coach.
Do you think that maybe sometimes he can get in his own head? Because, we know him as this crafty, creative play caller. Do you think that maybe he could overthink certain scenarios and situations to where he thinks that, oh, yeah, I'm going to get you on this play. I'm going to one-up you. And then it's just, instead of focusing on the simple task at hand, I think he may run into that issue sometimes.
But when's the last time he's really coached a healthy team for an entire season? So I think that causes that a little bit, where you start thinking, okay, I need to do this, this, and this because I have to make up for the fact that I don't have this player or that player. So, if you ever had the chance to coach a healthy team for an entire season, we'll see what he can do. All right, real quick, and then we got to get to break. There's not much to say bad about both the Seahawks and the Rams. Seahawks obviously have to figure out a way to replace Kenneth Walker Jr. Outside of that, they pretty much have a Super Bowl champ team from last year coming back. Obviously, they got a great coach. And then for the Rams, they're kind of like the Dodgers. They just went out and added pieces to the puzzle enough to make them, I think, probably the clear-cut favorite for the Super Bowl.
This is. I wish it was as easy to just say, yep, they have all the talent in the world. They have the right coach. They have the right superstars in the right spot. They just brought in the best defensive player, in my opinion, over the last decade. You'd like to think it's all sunshine and rainbows, but that's not always what happens.
You're basically a quarterback injury away from probably not being very good. Because then you have Stetson Bennett, Ty Simpson, or Caldwell as your guys.
They'll put in Simpson if Stafford has to miss any time. But, here we are 12 months later. 12 months ago, I should say, we were wondering if Stafford was even going to be playing in week 1 because of that. He had some kind of a
neck.
Yeah, he had some kind of a weird injury, and we just didn't really know if he was going to be effective. And obviously, he just powered through it and proved us, yeah, I still got it. Puka still being there, but I think Puka may have a down year. I think he's got too much going on outside of the football field. The NFL is still, I think, waiting to determine what they're going to do with him when he had his off-field issues a few months ago. The running back room, I think Corum is going to be incorporated a lot more into this offense.
Probably third down back.
Yeah, even though Kyron Williams has proven to be, he could carry the load if he has to. But I think the Rams work better when they have multiple running backs, especially with that kind of an offense. And I don't know how to explain it, but, the Rams will give you a look and it's coming, and you still have a hard time trying to defend it, right? And they're just very good at executing at a high level. So, because of that, that's going to give them, the upper advantage in most of these games. But I don't think we understand the impact that Myles Garrett can have on this defense.
Huge.
Because Jared Verse had himself a great year last year. He really did. Like, he had an awesome year in that system, and now you're bringing in a guy who's
I think two guys, Trent McDuffie on the backside, then Garrett up front. Like, that's a pretty good combo right there.
I'm not going to put too much value into the McDuffie thing because I don't think the Rams are a huge bump and run team. They're a lot of zone.
But so does the loss to McDuffie hurt Kansas City worse than it helps the Rams?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Like, he was good, but like he wasn't even the best corner in his division.
Okay, but that's tough. I mean,
you had to think about it for a second.
That's tough. Devontae Adams will take touches away from Puka, too.
He'll be a strict red zone guy. That's where most of his production will be.
All right, James has to step away for a segment. Your phone call is 522-1410 on this Football Friday. Call the show. Got some high school coaches responding to my text. We've already got some lined up for next week. We'll talk about that next.
This segment of the game plan is brought to you by Moneytown Pawn on Oliver, just south of Pawnee. Tools, electronics, firearms, jewelry, and more. Find what you need at Moneytown Pawn.
The game plan. KGSO.
High school football season is here, and KGSO Sports Radio is your home for the Golden Eagles. Bishop Carroll is looking to flex their muscles out on the gridiron this fall and cause havoc in the Greater Wichita Athletic League. Tune in on Friday night as award-winning broadcaster Doug Downs and his team bring the action to life. Hear every touchdown, every story with Bishop Carroll football right here on 1410 93.9 and the SC Wichita app. Don't forget about the Tuesday Night Coaches Show and the Saturday Morning Sports page for further coverage. Go Eagles!
Every school pickup line has a main character. Most days, it's the kids. But once a year, a parent pulls up in a brand new Kia Telluride. And suddenly, all eyes are on Mom.
Is that the new one? I heard it comes in a hybrid now. I heard it has heated seats in all 3 rows.
And for a moment, the kids aren't the only ones in the spotlight. This August, let that parent be you, because Mom deserves to shine too. Or if it's your student's turn to get behind the wheel, find great starter cars like the K4 sedan and K4 hatchback. Plus, you can get 0% financing on brand new Sportage and Sorento models. And every new Kia is backed by our unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Whichever model you choose, we have big savings on great vehicles for that main character energy. Only at Midwest Kia.
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
With approved credit, see dealer for details. Warranties a limited powertrain warranty.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. You know the place. Puts a smile on your face, and he's the one for frozen custard fun. Made fresh every hour. It's your happy power. Top your day with a smile at Andy's.
Did you know my frozen custard is made fresh every hour? Or that our toppings are baked daily right in our stores? It's how we top your day with a smile at Andy's.
Wichita Wind Surge Baseball is back at Equity Bank Park. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy an exciting night of baseball right here in Wichita. From big hits to family-friendly promotions and special theme nights, there's always something happening at the ballpark. For the full schedule of upcoming events, follow us on Facebook at Wichita Wind Surge or visit us online at windsurge.com. Wichita Wind Surge Baseball. Don't miss the action at Equity Bank Park.
Even the finest jewelry needs repairs sometimes, and Wichita's first choice for full-service jewelry repair is Jewelry Savers. Whether you need ring sizing, stone setting, soldering, or shank repair, Jewelry Savers does it, along with lobster clasps, prong retipping, pearl restringing, chain shortened or lengthened, watch repair, watch batteries, watch bands, engraving, cleaning, polishing, even appraisals. Trust Jewelry Savers by Cabela's at K96 in Greenwich.
Jewelry Savers, we don't want $1 million, just a million friends.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
Imagine a tropical paradise where the sun always shines and the fun never ends. Welcome to Blast Off Bay, the ultimate indoor water park. Catch a wave on our state-of-the-art surf machine, unwind with a cold drink at the poolside bar, or relax in our warm, inviting hot tub. Then get ready for thrills on 11 exciting water slides that'll take your breath away. Hungry? Enjoy pizza, burgers, wings, and more. Open 365 days a year with a perfect climate every day. Don't wait. Plan your escape today to Blast Off Bay.
KGSO Studio, brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Expert installation done right. Right on schedule. Find them online at renewalbyanderson.com. Wichita owned. Wichita proud. This is KGSO.
Our good friends from Meadowlark Landscape and Design would love to hear from you today on this Friday. Make sure you give them a call, 316-880-0227, and get on their schedule. I tell you what, if you got a fescue yard, you know this time of year, it is brutal on that yard. It doesn't matter how much water you put on it. It's going to turn brown. I don't know, outside of maybe a golf course that usually doesn't have fescue, that I've drove by many yards that don't have brown spots. There's things you're going to have to do to make sure the next spring it comes back healthy. And starting September 1st through about mid-October, that's the perfect time to be getting the thing aerated, dethatched, maybe overseeded. Well, the experts at Meadowlark Landscape and Design, they know what they're doing. All you have to do is call them, 316-880-0227. They'll come out, look at your yard, give you a fair assessment of what you need done, and then you can sign up for their services to make sure your yard looks good again next spring. As a matter of fact, if you need some overseeding work done, they'll give you 10% off if you just mentioned you heard me talk about them this morning. A good local company. Everything stays local. It's Meadowlark Landscape and Design. Let me give you that number one more time, 316-880-0227. Tell them you heard about them right here on the Game Plan and KGSO. So not a lot of time in this segment. Went a little bit long with the last one. James has stepped away. I would love your phone calls. Welcome him in at 522-1410. Don't forget, coming up, starting next week, and I'm going to say probably around Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, we will have our fall football preview guide out where you can read about all the high school teams that we've covered, about 72 of them, and then we'll get set for our coverage starting next week, and I've got some confirmations. I got to tell you this. Like, I understand this new cell phone rule in schools. Like, I get it. If I was a teacher, it would suck to try to get a kid's attention that's constantly on their phone or their watch or whatever. So I fully understand it. But I don't like the fact that this also applies to teachers, from what I've been told. Because for what we do in trying to track down high school coaches, it's tough enough because these guys are busy. They're teaching, plus they've got to deal with their classrooms, or they got to deal with their classrooms, and they got to deal with whatever sport they're coaching. So trying to track these guys down is not always the easiest. And a lot of times I could send a text during the day or whatever, and a coach could hit me right back up. It's pretty simple. Well, apparently they can't have contact through text message with their players now. They can't. I think the cell phone rule, if I was told right, applies to the teachers. And so it's tough now for me to communicate. Thank goodness. And I'm sorry, coaches, I didn't mean to bombard you this morning, but I'm trying to get a hold of you before you start class. We got a lot of responses back this morning. So next Monday on the show, Darren Fisher from Goddard Eisenhower about 7:25. We'll see what the old Ike Tigers have up their sleeve for this coming season with Coach Fish. That's about 7:25 on Monday. That's confirmed. Steve Martin from Wichita Northwest. Great guy, great coach. He will be on the show Tuesday at about 7:25. Northwest Grizzlies projected to be very, very good this year, as they always are. Obviously a big game to open things up with the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles on September the 4th, a game I'll have right here on KGSO. So he's confirmed for next Tuesday. I think I have Brandon Clark from the Derby Panthers, hopefully confirmed for Tuesday at 8 a.m. So all you fans down in Pantherland, I think Coach Clark will be on with me on Tuesday. Just waiting for him to verify that. And Dylan Schmidt from Andale. Obviously, we know what Andale is all about. He should be on the show Monday at 8 o'clock. Coach Fife hit me back up from Maize South. It's going to depend a little bit on what practice schedules are going to look like on when he's going to be available, but he will be on the show sometime next week. Chris Jacks from Bishop Carroll will be on the show next week. Just waiting for him to kind of confirm a time as well, and I'm reaching out to more. So, coaches, if you're listening right now before you start class and you get a text from me, I understand you probably can't answer me during the day. Check it out in the evening and shoot me back a time that maybe you'd be available. Because we do this every year, 2 weeks out. We start our coaching carousel where we try to have at least 2 coaches on every day for a couple of weeks so you can hear even more about what's going on in high school football. And if you got practice next week and we got to move you to the afternoon show, that's fine. Jay-Z and Sasha would love to talk to you as well in the press box. So we'll make time whenever we can to try to get these coaches on, and knowing that we've got to work around a couple of new rules that they got to deal with this year as well. But our high school football preview guide out next week. Coverage starts September 4th with games on KGSO and on 1480 KQAM. Don't forget, you can always listen to these games not only over the air, but all of our games are also broadcast on our websites, and they are broadcast across our app. And we're working right now, and I'm hoping to have this settled today or tomorrow, with a way that we will be able to podcast these games after they're done, so you can go back and listen to them on a Saturday or whatever you want to as well. So we got a lot going on right now that we're working on. I will have my first show on Saturday with the Saturday Morning Sports page from 8 to 9 starting on September the 5th. Statewide scoreboard show from 10 to 11 every Friday night, where we cover scores from across the state, across about 22 radio stations throughout the state of Kansas as well. Look, you know you've counted on us for years not only to deliver the best sports talk, but to give you the absolute 100% best coverage of high school sports. And that's what we do right here every single year. Nobody can match what we do when it comes to high schools. Not even come close. And we take great pride in making sure that we highlight all of the great student athletes. And as soon as I find out some flag football coaches, we're going to get them on the show as well. So hit me up if you know some flag football coaches on how I can reach out to them, because I'd love to have them on the show as well. I think that is just absolutely awesome that we now have girls flag football sanctioned by Keisha at the high school level. Quick timeout. Final segment here of Hour 2. That is straight ahead here on The Game Plan.
Call The Game Plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410.
The Game Plan. KGSO.
The wait is officially over. The NFL is back on Sports USA. Every hit matters, and every play sets the tone.
Give to Henry. Out in the middle he goes. Runs into his own tackler. Breaks through another extensible over the goal line. Touchdown, Baltimore.
It's where the rookies fight for their spot and the veterans stake their claim. This Saturday, it's the Philadelphia Eagles at the Baltimore Ravens on your home for the NFL, Sports USA.
Pre-game Saturday at 5:30 right here on Wichita Sports Station, KGSO.
Are you in need of a new dentist? Check out 316 Dental at 13th and West Street. 316 Dental is now offering same-day services with the addition of a second dentist. That's right, same day. The hardworking team includes 4 hygienists and stays open late to fit your schedule. 316 Dental accepts most major insurance companies. Ask them about their new patient special that includes a comprehensive exam and x-rays. They also offer implants and Invisalign.
Care that soars above and beyond the 316 Dental.
Wichita Wind Surge Baseball is back at Equity Bank Park. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy an exciting night of baseball right here in Wichita. From big hits to family-friendly promotions and special theme nights, there's always something happening at the ballpark. For the full schedule of upcoming events, follow us on Facebook at Wichita Wind Surge or visit us online at windsurge.com. Wichita Wind Surge Baseball. Don't miss the action at Equity Bank Park.
My name is Chance English. I'm the CEO of English Trash Service. With so many other companies, the service goes down while the pricing goes up. We saw a need for reliability and customer service in the local trash market.
My contract was coming up, the quarterly deal with the previous service, and I was just listening. I wasn't going to pay the increased fee, so then I hear English, called them up, and we're in business.
Give us a try by visiting our website at english-rentals.com. That's english-rentals.com.
Are you looking for a better healthcare experience this summer? Kingman Healthcare Center is a full-service hospital with a 24/7 emergency room with little to no wait times. Our clinics offer same-day appointments and convenient scheduling for your annual checkups. Don't wait. Make your health a top priority and schedule your appointment today. You won't regret the short drive without the big city traffic. Exceptional care every time. To learn more, visit our website, kingmanhc.com.
Hello, this is Brian Davis. And this is Blake Davis. For over 50 years, Davis Liquor Outlet has been Wichita's trusted destination for beer, wine, and spirits. Whether you're planning a party, stocking up for the weekend, or looking for something new, you'll find a great selection at prices you'll love. Don't have time to shop? Download the app and order online for fast, convenient pickup. The Davis family proudly serving Wichita, Kansas for over 50 years. Stop by today or order online and let us help you celebrate. Davis Liquor Outlet. Each store independently owned and operated. Neighborhood locations with superstore prices.
Don't miss all your favorite college games all season long. Only right here on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
It's the end of the week. It's going to be 105 again today. So when lunchtime rolls around, probably be a good idea to do something healthy for you. Still get full, still enjoy a great lunch, but don't feel real bloated afterwards. You do that anytime you visit Doc Green's. They got everything you need to stay healthy, have a great lunch, not feel bad, not get all tired right after lunch on a hot day. Get by and see our friends at Doc Green, Central and Hillside, in the Waterfront or New Market Square. Look, when it comes to salads, you can't beat Doc Green's. And by the way, don't worry about their lettuce. Don't worry about all that stuff. They have extra precautions that they take at Doc Green's to make sure that everything that comes out that you're going to eat is safe for you and that you're not going to get sick and have all that stuff that has been rumored to go around. That's it. Doc Green's has already looked out for you. They're taking good care of you when it comes to that. But you can add about anything you want to that salad. They've got wraps. They've got sandwiches. They've got entree options. They're available for lunch. They've got juices made out of fruits and vegetables that are healthy for you. So get by and see Doc Green, Central and Hillside, New Market Square, or in the Waterfront. Make sure you tell Devin and his crew that you heard us talking about him this morning right here on The Game Plan. 522-1410 is the phone number. Call the show. Be a part of it this morning. Want to hear from you on this Football Friday. We told you about the story yesterday, and it's kind of been something that's been talked about nationally as well with all this stuff that came out with Jaden Daniels and the number 5 and how there has been lawyers that have sent letters to LSU saying you can't use his name, image, or likeness anymore. He's pissed off that DJ Pickett is now going to wear number 5. And all this stuff came out, and at the end of the day, DJ Pickett said, yeah, I don't care. I'm wearing number 5. That's my number. It was my number in high school. It was promised to me when I came here, and I don't really care what Jaden Daniels has to say. I'm wearing number 5.
While they are entitled to liking a number, because I was that way too. I needed to be number 15, and I maybe had to have roughened up someone to get that. No, I'm kidding. I didn't have to do that, but this was his mom.
Yeah,
that's what this screams to me. You know, I don't even understand. I don't even know what hallway to go down to understand why she would even care. Other than the fact of getting a little bit more money out of it. But from what I understand... But
were they really anymore?
From what I understand, they were using his Heisman as a recruiting tool to get these players to come there.
Don't they have the right to do that? I mean, they've had 3 Heisman Trophy winners in the history of their school. And before Burrow did it, it was 1959 since they had their last one. Don't they kind of have the right to say in the last, in a 6-year period, we produced 2 Heisman Trophy winners?
You should be able to use that, but I think it may be how they're using it. I don't know. It's such a fine line. I'm not sure what the exact details are of what's okay and what isn't, but I don't know. It just seems to me like this is a money grab. This is something that really, truly didn't need to happen. And I don't know what to say other than if you wanted your number to be retired there, maybe you should have
pushed it.
Well, no, not just that, but maybe you should have done more. But at the same time, if
I tell you what, go give the school about $2 million they can use for NIL. I bet you they retire that jersey. Tell them that's part of the stipulation.
I wonder if there's some kind of ruling against that, where you have to wait a grace period after you leave a school before you can contribute to it. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something like that, but no, this didn't really seem like something that he would come out and initiate. This seemed like someone on his team, it didn't sit right with them, and then he's just like, all right, whatever. But it didn't sound like he was too worked up over it when he was asked about it.
No, but I think he was on board with the fact that he didn't think it was right that his number was being used.
It's a freaking number, dude.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that over the years, and I'm just trying to think of schools that have had multiple Heisman Trophy, Oklahoma, Alabama, I'm pretty sure over the years, those guys have probably used that as a recruiting tool. That they've produced many Heisman Trophy winners. They've produced guys that have went on to the NFL that have made, good names for themselves. That's what schools do. That's how they get in these top recruits. I mean, hell, they hadn't helped in over a decade, but they still do it up in Nebraska. Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing is just crazy to me. And I get it, because I was very partial to the number 10 in high school. It was my number. That's what I wanted. And I got it year after year. So I understand. But still, you got a kid in DJ Pickett that says, look, man, I've worn the number 5 since I've been 4 years old. It's been my number. And I thought, as much as I'm not a Lane Kiffin fan, I thought that he explained it well when he came out and said, this kid was promised this number when he came to LSU. LSU did not follow through on the promise. It's important to him. We're going to follow through on the promise.
The only I guess the only thing that I could back up the player in this situation is if it's a part of a nickname. We have AR5, I'm trying to think of another one. I mean, I know LeBron had his for a while, J23, but Kyler Murray's K1. That's his brand. If somebody else on the Vikings had number 1 and they wouldn't want to give it up, that's a different scenario in my opinion. But for example,
but who was it that just came out and lost that? They tried to trademark a number as part of their brand, and they lost it. They lost the case. Gosh dog it! This was not that long ago. Oh, it was. Well, I think they lost it because they tried to get it from Dale Earnhardt Jr. It was the number 8, and they tried to get that as part of their brand. It was. I think it was Caleb Williams. No, that's not his number. I can't remember who it was now.
It might have been Caleb Williams, actually.
Is 8 his number? It's not his number.
No, he's 18.
Yeah. No, it was the number 8. It was one of the players that wears 8. Anyway, so I mean, I understand if it's part of your brand, maybe. But again, doesn't that brand follow you?
Wasn't it Lamar? It was Lamar.
Lamar, that's right. It was.
It was Lamar.
Jeez, how did I forget that? But if the number's part of your brand, isn't that more so as a pro than in college?
Yeah. I mean, these guys are semi-pros now.
Well, that's true.
But
that is a good point, though. With NIL, how much are these numbers now becoming part of the whole branding?
Right.
Much earlier than what they did before.
I don't know. It's a tricky thing, but it's not a good look. It's not a good look. But could you imagine? We'll even go locally here. Do you remember what number Jalen Mason was at Northwest last year? Wasn't he number 1?
Was he?
He was a single-digit number, but could you imagine if that number wasn't available at KU and now whatever. I'm not saying this is happening, but like just throwing it out as an example. Like he wanted a number that was already spoken for.
Well, I think these colleges need to do like what Wichita State does, and I've talked to Kevin about this before. They will retire a jersey, but not a number. So, like, they'll retire Gene Stevenson's jersey. They'll hang his jersey somewhere.
Right.
But the number 10 is still available. You'll run out of numbers.
I think for a coach it should be different because there's not as many legendary coaches for a certain school than there is players.
But baseball is really the only one that they wear a jersey in.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't see football coaches wearing their.
It's because they're the only sport that actually allowed their managers to play too, way back then.
I'm trying to remember. Could a player wear the same number as a manager's jersey?
I don't know. They probably wore the same jersey number though. Yeah. I'd have to look that up because I know Roger Hornsby was a manager, and I wonder if he wore the same number as a manager as he did as a player. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, you'll eventually run out of numbers if you retire them all.
I think every school should get 10. There's still 90 numbers left.
Wouldn't there be 91 because you can be 0?
And double, I think, now. You can be double
Really?
0 if you want.
Hour 3 straight ahead. We're going to break down the top 2 Big 12 teams next.
Your latest news on KGSO.
From the news desk, I'm Andy Hoosier. The conversation regarding flock cameras continue on in certain communities around South Central Kansas, with Hayesville residents debating city leaders on the use of flock cameras that are currently being used in Hayesville, with currently 8 different cameras being around the city. As according to officials with the company that run the flock cameras, they say that the cameras end up reading license plates with vehicles traveling through Hayesville, but do not have the capability of tracking individuals or having facial recognition.
You said this was a force multiplier. I absolutely agree with you. You said this is a game changer. I think that is amazing.
These flock cameras do not make me feel safe. They do not make me feel like as a law-abiding citizen, I have nothing to worry about.
We're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, and this feels like we're already guilty of living.
Right now, the cameras are remaining in place for the community, while the city staff says they're looking into the cost and logistics of potentially putting the question before voters on a ballot measure.
The news on KGSO is brought to you by Truck Stuff. Whether it's your camper, trailer, or both that need hauling, Truck Stuff has you covered. Online at truckstuffks.com or call 316-264-1908.
The Wichita State men's basketball team has strengthened their non-conference schedule yet again. Wichita State yesterday announced that they will take on Kentucky at Rupp Arena in Kentucky. That game will be on November 27th. Kentucky is added to an already tough non-con schedule against New Mexico, Boise State, Kansas State, and USC. The Wichita Wind Surge took Game 3 of a 6-game series against Corpus Christi last night with a 5-1 win. Those two teams play again tonight at Equity Bank Park. That's sports. I'm Doug Downs. Sports Report brought to you by Burwell Construction. Decks, pergolas, patio covers, roofing, siding, windows, guttering, and more. 316-794-3430. We're online at burwellconstruction.com.
Looking for a new-to-you ride? For over 70 years, customers have trusted Rustiak Ford with quality vehicles and exceptional service. We have 500 used cars available with 150 Ford Blue Advantage certified. From fuel-efficient cars to tough trucks and versatile SUVs, you'll find quality, value, and selection all in one place. That's peace of mind with every mile. Buy with confidence at Rustiak Ford. Visit rustiakford.com. Family owned and simply the best place to buy. See dealer for details.
Next time you're scooting down Kellogg through Goddard, make a stop at the Rusted Bean Coffee Shop. Treat yourself to creative signature espresso drinks, real fruit smoothies, customized dirty sodas, made fresh breakfast favorites, and of course, great coffee brewed just the way you like it. Be a star with your buck and shop local at the Rusted Bean Coffee Shop, where you'll find more than 7 delicious brews waiting for you. The Rusted Bean Coffee Shop in Goddard. Worth the stop every time.
Hi, this is Tyler Fee with Fee Insurance Group here in Wichita. To be a business owner in and around Wichita takes a lot of hard work, dedication, and most importantly, passion. Being protected can help give you peace of mind. Fee Insurance understands all your sacrifice, and we are passionate about helping Kansas businesses protect everything you have built. The Fee Insurance name and legacy is at the center of everything we do, guiding you through the risk of owning a business. You can count on Fee Insurance. Find us at feeinsurance.com. Fee Insurance, forward together.
This is Wichita's sports station, K230BY, 93.9 FM, 1410 AM, and 99.7 HD3. KGSO, Belle Plaine, Wichita.
KGSO weather.
We start you off with a chance of a shower or thunderstorm around with some cloud cover in south central Kansas. Likely staying dry, though, unfortunately, in Wichita. As we get into the afternoon, going to be another scorcher, a high near 105. Heat index could hit 107. Wind, it'll be out of the south, gusting to about 25. Late in the day and into the overnight, another thunderstorm or two not out of the question. Overnight lows eventually dropping to 79. We'll keep a slight chance of rain in early and late on Saturday. Highs in between near 105 again. In the Cake First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Frank Waugh.
At 8 o'clock, it's currently 79 degrees.
Broadcasting live from the KGSO studios in West Wichita. This is The Game Plan on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
It is hour number 3 of The Game Plan right here on this Football Friday on the Sports Leader KGSO, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM. That's how you find us on the radio. Many ways to find us on other platforms, including our website, kgso.com, through our app in the App Store at SC Wichita. You can simply holler at your smart speaker to play KGSO. It'll do it for you. Or you can watch, listen, and leave comments for the show on any of our streaming platforms, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch TV. Doug and James hanging out with you in the Renewal by Andersen Studios. Expert installation done right and right on schedule. When you rely on Renewal by Andersen, give them a call this morning if you need some new windows in your home or business. They've been doing it for many, many years here in the Wichita area and throughout the state of Kansas. So get a hold of Renewal by Andersen. Sean reminded us, by the way, that Caleb tried to trademark nickname Iceman. I knew there was something. I couldn't remember what it was. And that got denied.
Well, yeah, because we all know who the real Iceman is.
Yeah. Top Gun.
What?
Yeah.
George Gervin.
No, Top Gun.
George Gervin's the Iceman. No. What are you talking? That's your era, and you're telling me no? Come on.
Listen, if I think of Iceman, I think of the movie Top Gun.
Mm-mm.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
I think of George Gervin. That's got to be up there. Has to be number one.
I'm not exactly sure why he got denied. I think they said it was too generic of a term.
I thought it was because George Gervin already has that name.
I don't think that name is trademarked anywhere. I may be wrong, but I don't think it's trademarked anywhere. You're faster at looking stuff up than I am. 522-1410, Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines if you want to call the show.
It's trademarked by Lacrosse Footwear. The lacrosse with the E at the end.
Yeah.
It's for their insulated boots. They did that back in 1988.
Wow. So the one thing it's trademarked for, neither one of us even mentioned because we didn't know.
Yeah, it was refused due to the likelihood of confusion with those boots.
I kind of figured since Val Kilmer passed away that Iceman probably belonged to him. From the movie Top Gun.
No, I don't know.
Have you ever seen the movie Top Gun?
Not the original.
Really?
Not the original, no.
Wow.
I've been on the ride, but I haven't seen the original movie.
You've just seen the remake or whatever it was?
The Tom Cruise one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, both of them were Tom Cruise.
But the original one, no. The later one, the last one that I've seen.
Well, then you had to be confused about some of the later one.
Oh, wasn't there a Top Gun movie from like the 80s?
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
He's the same guy.
Yes.
How old is Tom Cruise?
He's my age, maybe a little older. And he still does all those stunts himself.
Yeah.
Because they made a lot of references in the second one that you kind of had to know the first one.
Oh, Maverick was okay. That's the new one.
Right.
That's the one I have
Yes.
I haven't seen.
Okay, so you have seen the old one.
It's been a long time.
All right.
It's been a long time.
Well, you should watch Maverick too, because it's actually, I'm not a big fan always of sequels to movies. This one was very good. They did a really good job with it.
Well, same director, right?
Oh, I have no idea. Might have been. All right, let's talk a little Big 12 football. We got a couple of teams that we have not broke down this week, and it's the two teams that we feel like are probably going to be at the top of this league. Don't know, but most of the experts would tell you. And if you look at the preseason rankings, these two teams are the highest, and that is BYU and Texas Tech. You probably know more about BYU and the history of this program than I do. Look, BYU is a classic example, I think, of what money can do for you, right? Like all of a sudden, money starts flowing into the university in the right way. And you got to think, and again, you're going to know more than this than I do. But BYU has had some players over the history of this program, and they've had guys that have done obviously very well in the NFL.
Satake, I think, has everything to do with that.
But even prior to him, you think back guys that played there.
I don't think they had as many guys getting drafted the previous 10 years before Kalani than versus the 10 years that they were. But they've always been a physical team. But I think what Kalani truly excels at, and this is something that I think a lot of people actually don't realize, Polynesian players, they like being around their own people. Like it's just kind of how they have always been. And Kalani he welcomes them with open arms, right? They're just one big family, and he knows how to connect with those guys.
Are you surprised he stayed there?
Yes and no. I'm not surprised because I truly believe that he does embrace the LDS culture and like he is a part of that, and he is a member. So I think he does take pride in that. But I think he's also comfortable with where he's at. I don't think he necessarily needs to go to a bigger program. Like he is a kind of a guy that likes to take these guys that may fly under the radar a little bit and coach them up and get them to where they need to be. And so I think he's a well-mannered guy. He's not one to get super heated, but I think he truly does connect with his players. And I don't think a lot of other coaches do that on a level that he does. He truly enjoys being out there. The players love playing for him. And we've never heard of like any turmoil happen between him and his team. Like he's always got these guys focused. He's always got them, doing the right things. And so, I'd like to think that, with Ryan Smith being this big contributor that he is to this NIL deal, because he is one of the main donors, and he's not been shy in saying that he is. But
so my question is this, because if you look back at the history of BYU, I mean, you got guys like Steve Young, Jim McMahon, Ty Detmer, Fred Warner, Puka Nacua, Taysom Hill, like all of these guys came from this program. Prior to NIL, was there shoebox money at BYU?
No. What are you insinuating?
Or is this
that
a new thing?
Instead of them putting the money in the box, when that box comes around, they just take the money? Is that what you're insinuating?
Look, I don't care. You can go look at what you think is the purest program out there, and I guarantee you there was some shoebox money somewhere.
I don't know. I don't think there was, because what BYU, they're stricter obviously than every other college in the country, just because they have to not only follow, regular protocol for being a human, but you also are being held to a little bit of a higher standard as well. But I think with not having distractions there, because we got to remember these are young men. You remember when you were 20, we were full of energy. We were full of hormones. Like we just wanted to run wild and just be crazy. Like that's what 20-year-olds want to do. And for you to go to a program and to avoid all of that, to no girls, no parties, no staying out late at night, like that can to obviously turn into something great. And we all want to be under this impression that every team out there in America is perfect. They're angels. They don't do anything. They do. I mean, these are college kids. They're not the brightest yet. They want to cause a little bit of havoc. They want to be sneaky. They want to get away with things. Like, we were all there. We all did it. And so for 80 guys to be on one team and for them to all have the same mission and the same, activities and the same hobbies, like, I think that speaks a little bit louder than I think most people realize.
I think, in all kidding aside, I think the move to the Big 12 benefited BYU probably more than any other program that changed conferences.
I still believe that they would have been an attractive place to go as an independent, because they have one of the largest fan bases in the country. We said
they do, but they weren't on TV a ton.
No,
and now they are.
Yeah, and maybe that has something to do with the Big 12 and their TV contracts and all that. So I think it has helped them get that exposure. But I truly do believe they have benefited from Utah falling in terms of being able to recruit and being able to keep their talent there. Like, BYU is taking most of the talent from the state. And as well as going into the islands and looking at those big boys in Hawaii. Like, Kalani embraces the Polynesian culture.
Yeah, but that's his deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
And guys...
He did that when he was with Navy, right?
Yeah.
Where he was before. Mm-hmm. He did the same thing.
Yeah.
It was a little bit harder because he had to get those guys to enlist into the service, but, he was still able to do it at a high level. Listen, you don't hear anything bad about him. You just hear that he's a great players coach. He loves his kids. He's another dad out there to most of these kids.
He's a family guy.
And look, I like BYU. I think they're a good program. I think it'd be fun to go to a BYU game. I'd love to do that sometime.
Do you like to have a beer when you watch a football game?
I mean, yeah, but I can do without. Like, I'm fine.
I remember...
Ever say no beer sales at BYU?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Bradley and I, a few years ago for Utah, said the worst thing about playing at BYU, playing in front of 60,000 sober white people. But it doesn't matter. The crowd for BYU, it's unbelievable. I don't know how they get all hyped up and crazy.
They may not be drinking in the stadium. What they do before they get to the stadium may be a different story.
Well, I know it's a dry campus, 100%.
Well, it might be, but
it's a dry county.
Tailgating may be at somebody's apartment.
The county is dry.
Like, that stops.
It stops the Utahns. Maybe not Kansans because they have a different set of mentality. Or, they have a different mentality. But
ask people down in Fayetteville, Arkansas, when that used to be dry. How much partying went on? I mean, look, it's a college campus. They're going to find a way. I promise you.
But I will say, though, I
will tell you this. I don't know why, but I'm way rooting for BYU over Texas Tech to win this conference if it's between one of those two.
Well, sure. A loss, though, that nobody has really talked about, and I think it's because of what actually happened. What was his name? Parker. He was a receiver for BYU. Parker Kingston. And I don't want to go into too much detail about what exactly he did, but he got into a little bit of off-the-field trouble, and he was one of their main receivers. And, now he's not on the team, Parker Kingston.
Well, now you're going to have to tell me sometime what he did, because I have no idea.
It was a allegation with a woman.
Oh, okay. I do remember the story, yeah.
I think it actually got ruled. I think it got dismissed, actually. So he's not going to get charged with anything, but BYU is still not going to let him come back because he broke the code of conduct.
Right.
So
yeah, it was a consensual thing, right?
That's what it came down to. But the girl obviously was trying to financially gain off of it because there were text messages that came out to her friends that were saying, yeah, I'm going to try and get some money from this guy or something like that. It was like, You got to not make it so obvious. But they won't be having him this year.
Yeah, I mean, this is why the FBI is now talking to all these athletes.
Yeah.
Warning them about this stuff.
But they brought in Kyler Casper from Oregon. And he didn't get much playing time at Oregon, but he was obviously good enough to get a scholarship there and go. So I think he'll have a big year for them.
Damn, their athletic director must not like them. Check this out. The month of October is brutal. At TCU, Iowa State at home, Notre Dame at home, and then they go to Central Florida. But that's 3 tough games in a row.
Well, you know why? It's because that they got left out last year.
Which was BS.
I didn't think they deserved to be in, to be honest.
Over SMU, they beat them in the head-to-head.
Oh, I'm not saying that SMU should have been the team to get in either, but I don't think BYU because when I watch them, they obviously win a lot of close games and they don't look overly convincing in a lot of their games. And I think that's kind of their biggest that's the glaring difference with BYU. They'll win you 8, 9, 10 games. And that I think it was 2 years ago when they had like 4 or 5 fourth quarter comebacks. Like, yeah, they were winning games, but they were not dominating teams and they weren't convincing the people that make these rankings that they were a legitimate team. And I felt that. Like, I truly did feel like that what was it, against TCU or a couple years ago where they were down in the water. I mean, they were out of that game completely, and then they had a last-second comeback off of a punt return or something like that, and the place just went absolutely bananas. But that was a lucky win, and I have this feeling that that's not going to go away, and maybe BYU will continue to get this disrespect. So that's why they go out and schedule a much more difficult non-con, because these CFP guys, they don't respect the Big 12. They don't.
No.
So
they don't watch Big 12.
They don't respect the Big 12, and so they're not going to give them any advantages by any means. So BYU's got to go out. These Big 12 teams got to go out and do it themselves, because the people are looking at their conference saying, we don't think much of you. Then it's not going to help yourself.
Those committee members, they watch the SEC first, the Big 10 next, and that's it. They don't watch anything else. Until, the day that they get locked into a room for like 12 hours to watch football all day, and then they make their vote. My whole situation on BYU is this. Whether they deserve to be in the playoffs or not, they certainly deserve to be in over SMU. They have the head-to-head. Like, what else do you need? And it was at SMU that they went in and won. So if you were going to put SMU in, you had to put BYU in. All right, and then Texas Tech, which is everybody's pick to win the Big 12. We all know what's went on with their quarterback situation. Although, I think Will Hammond, wasn't he the kid that came in last year and started a few games when their starter got hurt and actually played very well? And then he ended up getting hurt.
I think he was okay. I don't think he was anything crazy to write home about, but he's been there for a couple of years now. He knows the offense, so he's the best shot that you have. But I think his biggest weakness is just going to be that lack of experience, like not being able to read a defense, up to speed that the Big 12 needs you to be at. So it's a giant question mark, and it may be the biggest question mark at the quarterback spot in this entire conference.
I don't think Tech wins this conference, and here's why. 3 reasons. 1, I'm not sure that this Sorsby stuff doesn't follow them all year long, where it creates some kind of a distraction throughout the entire season. Number 2, there's a lot of pressure on this team with the money that has come into it now. A ton. And they know that they've got to go in and win week after week after week. But number 3 is just as far as play on the field, like they lost a lot off that defense. And I realize they brought some guys in and they've replaced a lot. But, dude, they lost some players off that defense. I don't think this defense is going to be near as good as it was last year.
No, but you'd have to think that they reloaded, right? Because the year before that, we didn't really know what the Texas Tech defense was going to be. So it's just new names in the same spots for me. I have all the confidence that they're not going to drop off much. There will be a drop off, but it's not going to be to the point where they lose 3 conference games. I don't think that's in the books for them. I think they could easily go 7-2 in this conference, and that to me is their floor. Like that has to be the worst that they can do.
Let's see. What do they have? They're 2 non-con games. They'll take care of that easily. Although they do have to go to Oregon State, but still. But then they start conference play with Houston. It is at home. And then they got a game with Sam Houston. I'm not sure what that is. Go to Colorado. Do they have anything?
That's just the Texas game that they usually play every year.
Dude, they don't. They just don't really have a marquee game on their schedule.
Part of that is the Big 12.
They get Arizona State at home. They get Arizona at home. They get TCU at home. I mean, honestly, their toughest road game is probably Cincinnati.
Yikes.
Yeah. They have to go to Stillwater, and I mean, some people think Oklahoma State's going to be better than what we think they will be. So maybe that'll be an issue. But, yeah, I mean, their road games are Oregon State, Colorado, Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, and Baylor.
That's pretty favorable.
Yeah. If they do lose more than 2, then Cody Campbell is going to blow a gasket. Like, seriously. All right, I take that back. They might win the Big 12. With that schedule, they should certainly end up in the Big 12 championship game, I would think.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, that's not
Are
tough.
we just going to have a repeat of last year? BYU versus Texas Tech?
Yeah. Look, I think you're going to have to watch out for Kansas State. I think they're going to be better than maybe some of the experts think. Houston. I mean, I've told you about Houston, what I think there. I don't know about that.
We're absolutely going to get to a point in college football, and I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but the top 4 teams from these power schools are just going to get thrown into a tournament and say, let's go. Let's see who wins the conference tournament.
So somebody put online, it was on Twitter, an 18-team, basically power conference.
We already have that.
That they thought football should break away and go to. The problem is, on that, I mean, there was some schools that were left, obviously, off of that you think just because of the history of the programs, at some point in time, they're going to get back and the money that's flowing through them. So I think if we ever get to the point of where we're going to have this like power conference and that's what's going to play for a national championship, that's got to almost change every year. The teams in it have to almost change every year. Like you have to take the top 20 or 25 or 30 or however many you want to put in it each year because you just don't know.
There's just no way to rank a team without knowing what they look like.
2 years ago, you wouldn't have put Indiana in one of them.
No.
You know? Now you got them in there in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, unless they settle down and put guardrails on college football, you cannot predict year after year who's going to be that dark horse. You just can't.
It's too bad.
I mean, I look at my own team, okay? And I'm not saying this. I'm just telling you what I see and what I read. You have some people that say, oh, this team's going to be lucky to win 4 games. And you got other people that have been to practices that say, I think this team has a chance to contend for a Big Ten championship. Now, I don't believe that, but that's the narrative that gets put out on these teams.
We just need it back. We just need it to come back. That's all.
All right, Mark Rogers is going to join me next. James has to step away again. We'll talk to our friend at the Sports Animal coming up next.
This portion of the game plan brought to you by Southwestern Remodeling, Wichita's full-line remodeler since 1970. See our project galleries at southwesternremodeling.com.
The game plan. KGSO.
Want to hear more of KGSO? Don't forget to download our app today. Fill out weekly surveys, register to win great prizes, listen live, message our shows, and so much more. Plus, get reminders of special programming and games you don't want to miss. Just find SC Wichita in your app store and make KGSO your new favorite app. It's Wichita's Sports Talk, right on your phone. Download the SC Wichita app today. With Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Professional excavators and homeowners, safety always comes first, and safe digging is no accident. So before you begin your next digging project, remember to call Kansas 811 to have your underground utility lines marked for free. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. So play it safe, put down the shovel, pick up the phone, and call 811 first. This message is brought to you by Kansas 811, reminding you that no matter if your digging project is big or small, don't make a judgment call. Always call 811 before you dig.
Fox Sports. Fox Kansas is Wichita's home for exciting live sports action. Saturday, it's an afternoon of exciting horse racing action as Fox Saratoga Saturday showcases the Christophe Clement Turf Stakes from 2 to 5. Then 2 MLB National League contenders square off in primetime as the Brewers battle the Dodgers at 6. Play ball! And on Sunday, IndyCar NICS Racing takes to the streets of Markham, Ontario, with the Ontario Honda dealers Indy at 11. Fox Sports. Fox Kansas. Channel 24. Cox Cable Channel 4.
Are you in need of a new dentist? Check out 316 Dental at 13th and West Street. 316 Dental is now offering same-day services with the addition of a second dentist. That's right, same day. The hardworking team includes 4 hygienists and stays open late to fit your schedule. 316 Dental accepts most major insurance companies. Ask them about their new patient special that includes a comprehensive exam and x-rays. They also offer implants and Invisalign.
That soars above and beyond the 316 Dental.
Every school pickup line has a main character. Most days, it's the kids. But once a year, a parent pulls up in a brand new Kia Telluride. And suddenly, all eyes are on Mom.
Is that the new one? I heard it comes in a hybrid now. I heard it has heated seats in all 3 rows.
And for a moment, the kids aren't the only ones in the spotlight. This August, let that parent be you, because Mom deserves to shine too. Or if it's your student's turn to get behind the wheel, find great starter cars like the K4 sedan and K4 hatchback. Plus, you can get 0% financing on brand new Sportage and Sorento models. And every new Kia is backed by our unbeatable 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Whichever model you choose, we have big savings on great vehicles for that main character energy. Only at Midwest Kia.
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
With approved credit, see dealer for details. Warranties a limited powertrain warranty.
Looking for a healthier option to get you through the afternoon grind? Check out Doc Greens with 3 locations in Wichita. At Doc Greens, you can find a huge selection of salads, wraps, and sandwiches that won't leave you feeling bloated all afternoon. With the freshest ingredients, you know you'll always feel great after a lunch or dinner at Doc Greens. Check them out at Central and Hillside or at the Waterfront and New Market Square. While you're there, don't forget to pick up a few bottles of freshly pressed juice. Doc Greens, locally owned and operated.
Tricked out, decked out, check us out, Truck Stuff.
You've probably already heard that Truck Stuff is the place to go to lift, level, or lower your truck. And of course, we have an enormous in-stock selection of bed covers, running boards, and floor mats. But did you know that we do wheels and tires, gear swaps, and spray and bed liners? Stop by today to deck out your ride at Truck Stuff at the corner of Central and Washington.
Tricked out, decked out, check us out, Truck Stuff.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon James. Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
This is Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Got a couple of segments left before I get out of here for the weekend. Appreciate everybody listening to the show this morning. Thanks for your comments up on Facebook Live as well. Always appreciate it when you chat with us that way. Speaking of chatting, let's head off from the Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines. We find our good friend Mark Rogers from the Sports Animal down in OKC. Mark, how you doing this morning?
Doing great, Doug. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, we got you on a bit early. So James, who's joining me on the show now, has to step away a couple of times every morning. He's got a couple of other obligations here. So I figured, he's got to step out of the studio for a segment. Be a good time to have Mark come on, and we'll talk a little football here.
Sounds good.
All right, so we've kind of been breaking down Big 12 teams throughout the week, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but Joel Klatt came out with his preseason top 25, and he had Oklahoma State at number 25 in his preseason top 25. Now, they certainly weren't that high on my radar. New coach, and I realize that offensively they're going to be very good. We talked about that last week. Defense, we don't know what we're going to get here. I don't know. Is that a little over-aggressive in the top 25 for Oklahoma State with a new coach?
I mean, you can shuffle a ton of teams in at the bottom of the top 20, I think. I think that clearly the massive step up in quarterback from what they've had in the last probably decade at Oklahoma State and a ready-made offense. So the guy that led the nation in touchdowns and another guy that had 1,200 yards receiving, and they brought in some other good offensive players. So I think that Eric Morris is a coach.
Did we lose you?
Just not being able to score points.
All right, you cut out there for a moment, so
okay.
I'm not sure what all. I mean, you said Eric Morris is a good coach, and you think that they'll be able to score a lot of points, which I don't disagree with that. I wonder. I mean, is this a team that's going to have to score 40 points a game to win? Because defensively, will they be able to stop anybody?
I don't know. I mean, we'll find out the answer to that. I think they do have a couple of good defensive tackles that have been on the roster for a while, and Jaleel Johnson and Iman Oates, and a good linebacker in Wesloski that transferred from North Texas. But after that, I really don't know. I just think that there's light years potential with improvement from where they were a year ago. I mean, when you fire a coach the second game of the season, that leaves kind of a void there. And there were a lot of things going on behind the scenes that I think were just really dysfunctional at OSU last year with interim coaches and everything like that. So, you know, the bar is really low for them to jump over to improve quite a bit. But picking the Big 12 is really, really difficult. Outside of Texas Tech, then I think BYU people feel pretty good about next. You know, teams I think can jump all over the place. I do think TCU is a little bit disrespected. They played for the national championship in the past 5 years. They've won 9 games the past 2 seasons. They've got a pretty good team. They've got a really good coach in Sonny Dykes. And so I think that you can count on TCU being pretty good again.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it all week, and I think in that mid part of the Big 12, anybody could step up and possibly even make it all the way to the Big 12 championship game. I think you got that opportunity if you're Kansas State, TCU, Houston, I think is going to be good. A couple of dark horses, I think, in Kansas. Don't really know what you're going to get. Both of these quarterbacks, Isaiah Marshall and Cole Ballard, I think are really good. If they go with a 2-quarterback system, I don't know how great that's going to work. Utah, what's going to happen there? Arizona State, like there's just question marks all over this league.
Yeah, I think Utah has got a really good quarterback, and then they've got some good depth at the quarterback position with Jermaine Ficklin that played last year and it was good for them when Devin Dampier got hurt. So there's some good teams in the Big 12, but I mean, who's going to knock off who? There's a lot of balance in the league. OSU's schedule is manageable. Yeah, they got Iowa State on the schedule, I think, is rebuilding. They got Kansas on the schedule. I'm not as high on Kansas as you are. I think that they're probably in the bottom 4 of the conference. So there are a lot of unknowns about Oklahoma State, but I think there's a lot of unknowns about everybody in the Big 12.
Yeah, no doubt.
You have Tech going undefeated?
We just looked at their schedule. Like it's not overly difficult. Their toughest road game is probably Cincinnati. And maybe
they're
possibly
double-digit
Oklahoma
favorites
State.
in every game.
Yeah, possibly Oklahoma State, depending on where they are in November when they have to play each other. But,
yeah, I mean, there's not much depth at quarterback. I mean, they had some before the Sorsby situation. There could be some things go wrong on that side of the ball. I think they're going to be really good on defense, but I mean, I'm not sitting here. I mean, we're talking about Joel Klatt having Oklahoma State in the top 25, but that could be a good matchup late in the season if Tech's rolling along undefeated. Tough place to play at OSU if they're having a pretty good season, and their offense, would match up with Tech's defense. And I think that the Tech's offense is going to be the weaker side of the ball for them.
So has the Boone Pickens family come back with some money for Oklahoma State? Because didn't they kind of, once he died, didn't they kind of step away from like the big donations?
I don't know if Boone's money. I don't think Boone's money is what's funding, a lot of this NIL stuff. So there's other donors at Oklahoma State that can pony up a little bit, and so I think they're putting a lot of eggs into trying to fix the football basket after the last 2 years.
And for the Sooners, man, I mean, look, there's not a lot to say. We know that he recruited well. We know that he's a good coach. We know they have experience coming back at quarterback. It's just, can they get through the gauntlet of an SEC schedule and come out? They're not going to come out unscathed, but can they make it minimal enough that we're talking about them at the end of the year?
I think the schedule is tough enough that, depending on what it looked like, 9 wins might get them in the discussion for the playoff. 10 for sure, I think, would get them in. So you're going to see games just like last year, a lot of one-score games, a lot of games that could go either way. And, I mean, they're set up to be successful in those games with the Lou Groza Award winner and then also a defense that's really good that can get stops.
So I've been watching a little bit of the Big Ten training camp stuff, and they had Michigan the other day, and I kind of watched that just because of that game with Oklahoma. And, with Kyle Whittingham there now, I wanted to kind of see what Michigan was going to be about. Look, I think this is going to be a tougher game than people think. I think a lot of people think that it being in Norman and Michigan first-year coach, that they may not be running at full cylinder. But Bryce Underwood looks good. He looked good in that training camp videos that they showed while they were there. This is going to be a big, big battle in week 2.
Yeah, and a little different offensive philosophy with Bryce Underwood than what they had last year. Michigan's favored. I mean, Michigan's going to be a favorite in that game. OU was good on the road last year. They won their SEC road games, beat South Carolina, beat Tennessee, beat Alabama, and so I think this team could travel with the defense that they have. So if OU doesn't win that game, then the next month shapes up to be pretty tough because they could be out of the college football playoff by the Texas game with games at Texas and at Georgia, game against Texas and Dallas, and then at Georgia. There's no margin for error after that. It would be tough to kind of keep it together at 3-3. So that Michigan game is absolutely huge.
Michigan, you think Michigan's favored? Are they the early favorite? I haven't even looked.
Yeah, that game is in Ann Arbor. Michigan will be favored, yes. It'll
that's
be small,
right.
But they'll be favored.
It is in Ann Arbor. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I forgot that they do have to go there. That's kind of crazy, man. I mean, you're talking about a team that's ranked, Oklahoma was 11th in the preseason poll? Yeah.
I think they were in the top 10 in the coaches poll.
It's kind of a pick.
They're ranked 7th in the SEC and 9th in the coaches poll. Michigan's they're good. I think they'll be better with the second year with Underwood at that position. So that's not going to be a gimme, but I would pick OU to win it.
Man, it's almost a pick. Michigan a 1.5 point favorite, and an 11 a.m. kickoff. That sucks.
That's a noon kickoff for Ann Arbor, but Oklahoma and Oklahoma State both play 11 on September the 12th. OSU has Oregon in Stillwater on that same day.
Oregon's an 18.5 point favorite early on in that one.
Well, I mean, that's not as big as you might think.
No.
Where Oklahoma State was the last couple of years.
No. It's just so good to be talking about college football and NFL preseason stuff, last night. I don't get too caught up in the preseason. I watched a little bit of the Pittsburgh game. I wanted to see how Will Howard did for the Steelers, which I thought he looked pretty good at the time that he got in. Do you get into preseason football at all?
No, not really. I mean, I do have a saying that a day with football is better than a day without football. And so just to see NFL uniforms up in the field playing against each other is fairly exciting when we've been watching Little League World Series qualifications. Tulsa's still stinging from being disqualified in both softball and baseball.
But then they got to play, though, right? Didn't a judge or something come back and say that they could play in that game?
Well, there was a judge in Tulsa, then there was a judge in Texas that had more more jurisdiction or at bigger say. So no, they're done.
Oh, I don't even know really what happened. So did they have a player that was too old, or what happened there?
I've read at least 5,000 words, and I still don't know what happened. I mean, it's very difficult to explain.
I know.
There was some ineligibility. I don't know if it had to do with age or where the kids came from. There's a million stories out there, and when there's a million stories and still can't determine it, I mean, that means to me they look very guilty.
I want to ask you this about the NFL, and I know down in Oklahoma, I mean, I think there's probably more Cowboys fans than anybody, but there are some Chiefs fans down there. And when I look at the NFL and I look at the way people talk about the NFL, like, it's just crazy to me. Like, I get it. Kansas City's been the dominant team over the last decade outside of last year. And a lot of people think they're going to bounce back and have a better year this year. I still think they're probably a 9-10 win team. I don't know that they get back to that dominance that they had. But I guess the thing that kind of surprises me a little bit is from a national standpoint, you look at the AFC West, which I believe is going to be one of the tougher divisions that we have in the NFL. Denver wins it last year. They go to the AFC Championship game. They have to play the game in a blizzard without their starting quarterback. They basically return everybody from last year's team and get better by adding Waddle, but yet they're picked to finish third in this division behind the Chargers and the Chiefs. Like, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where we are in the NFL. NFC West, same thing. A lot of people, obviously the Rams and the Seahawks are the favorite, but there's people out there saying, look, I wouldn't count out the 49ers. They can come and win this division.
Okay, let's talk about the AFC West. I mean, what's going to be the margin that decides this division? Is it going to be a game?
Yes.
2? I mean, at the most. So the difference in first and third is minimal, especially because I think all of those teams are really going to be good. And I think if you look at it, and it depends on the scheduling, there's so much difference in a first-place schedule and a third-place schedule. So the Chiefs have the benefit of playing the third-place schedule when forever and ever and ever the Chiefs have played the first-place schedule, which means they're getting first place. It's 3 games, I think, that you get or really more than that. You get a team that won another division that you have to play against, especially when the third-place team is playing the third-place team in another division. So I think it's going to be really, really close. I like the Chargers quite a bit this year because I think that Mike McDaniel will bring something to the offense. I think Harbaugh's a pretty good coach. They've had bad injury luck on the offensive line. Past couple of seasons, they've got good players there. It's not like they're, depleted on the offensive line. They just have been hurt. So, I mean, I don't know how to pick the division. I think all 3 teams are going to be really good, but I would not count the Chiefs out after a down year last year where they've got a less difficult schedule than the 2 other teams in front of them. And then, the Raiders are just...
And I kind of understand that to start. Denver's schedule is very tough to start. But, I mean, if you look at Kansas City, you got to open up with Denver on Monday night. Now, it is at Arrowhead, so you have the benefit of that. Week 2, you have the Colts at Arrowhead. I mean, who knows how good the Colts are going to be. Then it does get pretty light. But you've got this Chargers, Seahawks, Broncos all in a row in weeks 6 through 8. Like, that's not easy. And then weeks 12 through 14, you got the Bills, the Rams, the Bengals, the Patriots, the 49ers, the Chargers. Like, that's not easy.
No, it's not. But, I mean, everybody in the AFC West plays everybody in the NFC West. So at some point in time, the Broncos and the Chargers are also going to have to play the Rams, Seahawks, and the 49ers too. It's in the margins of where the Chiefs get the benefit of the schedule. In that one extra game that they have now in the crossover with the NFC, they got a third-place team.
Right.
Whereas the Broncos have got a first-place team. So, I don't know. I mean, I think that, like I said, third place, first place, they may all go to the playoffs this year. I think that they would all have a really good chance to go to the playoffs in that division and all be really good, in the 11-6 type range. And, heck, they may all even tie at the top of the division. I think it's going to be that close. It was close last year when Denver won it.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this. Do you have a favorite NFL team? You have a team you root for?
I do not. I don't. I've just never had a favorite NFL team. I'm not ruling anything out at this point.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you haven't found a team where there's the most Oklahoma Sooner players or something. And that's who you root for.
Yeah, that would not be a differentiator for me. So I don't know what it would be, but
right,
I'm a free agent.
All right. Appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming on a bit early today.
All right, see you, Doug.
All right, see you. There he goes. Our friend Mark Rogers from the Sports Animal down to OKC. Always enjoy our conversation. James is back in studio. Quick timeout. We'll wrap this Friday show up next.
This segment of the game plan is brought to you by Moneytown Pawn on Oliver, just south of Pawnee. Tools, electronics, firearms, jewelry, and more. Find what you need at Moneytown Pawn.
The game plan. KGSO.
High school football season is here, and KGSO Sports Radio is your home for the Golden Eagles. Bishop Carroll is looking to flex their muscles out on the gridiron this fall and cause havoc in the Greater Wichita Athletic League. Tune in on Friday night as award-winning broadcaster Doug Downs and his team bring the action to life. Hear every touchdown, every story with Bishop Carroll football right here on 1410 93.9 and the SC Wichita app. Don't forget about the Tuesday night coaches show and the Saturday morning sports page for further coverage. Go Eagles!
A lot of homes built in the 90s still have their original siding and windows. If this is you, then call Burwell Construction at 316-794-3430. New siding and windows can make your house more energy efficient. Burwell Construction has been a trusted name for thousands of homeowners. Call them today, 316-794-3430, and let Burwell Construction give you a free estimate on windows and siding. And Burwell Construction will take care of all your guttering needs. Find them online at burwellconstruction.com.
If it's built well, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
Wichita Wind Surge Baseball is back at Equity Bank Park. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy an exciting night of baseball right here in Wichita. From big hits to family-friendly promotions and special theme nights, there's always something happening at the ballpark. For the full schedule of upcoming events, follow us on Facebook at Wichita Wind Surge or visit us online at windsurge.com. Wichita Wind Surge Baseball. Don't miss the action at Equity Bank Park.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you.
If the week's been too hectic to even think about dinner, or your family can't handle one more night of leftovers, then it's time to let Hog Wild do the cooking. Hog Wild's family packs are one heck of a good deal for a complete barbecue meal. Here's Josh Nicolette, Hog Wild partner and general manager at Harry and Rock Road.
When you stop by for a Hog Wild family pack, we'll send you home with all the smoked meats, tasty sides, buns, and sauces you need to feed your family a complete meal. And best of all, family packs are priced right to feed groups of 4, 8, 12, or 16 people.
Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 6 locations in Wichita, also in Derby, El Dorado, Hutchinson, and Salina.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild, get some for you. But don't be late, we close at 8.
School is out. Summer meals are now called Sun Meals and are being served in Kansas communities at parks, pools, libraries, churches, and schools. Meals are free to all children 18 and younger with no enrollment needed. Find a nearby site by texting the word SUMMER to 914-342-7744 or call 1-866-348-6479. Let's keep Kansas kids powered up for summer fun and academic success. This institution is an equal opportunity provider, sponsored by the Kansas State Department of Education and aired in cooperation with the station.
Remember, today you listen to The Game Plan on Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
I mean, I love my guy Boz Skaggs, but we do need to get to this.
Taco Tico, it's all about the taste.
Oh, brand new special, James, at Taco Tico. You can get 2 bean and cheese burritos for $3, or you can get the 3rd-pound meat and cheese burrito for $2.79. That's your specials this month at any of the Taco Tico locations: 13th and Tyler, 35th and Rock Road, Augusta, Arc City, El Dorado, Newton, Derby. Order online, tacotico.us. All about the taste at Taco Tico. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Shout out Taco Tico. What a great Friday flow state. Double D, top of the morning. Double D.
What's
and
going
new
on,
guy.
my Bayou buddy? How you doing?
Well, how's the new guy doing his first week, huh? New
Second.
guy, what's the evaluation?
Second.
Second. Correction.
Hey,
on
he
the
keeps
spot.
showing up, so he's got part of it whipped.
He's showing up, showing out. Big coffee guy. We stay hydrated. We stay motivated. We stay caffeinated, Double D. So what's your take on these 6 glorified scrimmages last night? Give me a quick rundown if you
So
can.
I only watched a little bit of one, which was the Steelers-Green Bay game. Wanted to see how former K-State, Ohio State quarterback Will Howard did in that game. So I watched a bit of that. Thought the Steelers looked better than I thought that they would be, which was probably a pleasant surprise to Steeler fans. I thought the Raiders, I saw some highlights of that, looked better than I thought they might be, especially offensively. They seem pretty efficient with Kirk Cousins in there. Mendoza comes in, gets a big, huge roar from the crowd, plays well. So that's kind of my assessment, man. I didn't spend a lot of time with him.
Yeah. Mendoza, I tell you what, I mean, look, playing against backups, but quick decision making. Played well. Got rid of the ball quickly. Good rhythm, good pace, good on him. You know what I'm saying? That's good for him. A good rookie guy to get some things under his belt. Because I would think things are going to pick up week 2 preseason, right? You're gonna maybe see a starter here and there, a few starters, a few series. So good on him, and it's good to see him throw a touchdown pass to Jack Besh, former LSU great / TCU Horned Frog. And actually, he's a local guy here in Louisiana. Played at Lafayette, St. Thomas More High School. But anyway, Pat. I mean, the Steelers got 4 quarterbacks, as you know. Raji, you got Rudolph, then you got Will Howard, your guy, and then you got Drew Allar from
Penn State.
That's right. Shout out. So you got 4 guys, but you're gonna have to cut one of those guys, right? One of those guys, you can't hold 4 quarterbacks. One guy could be a practice squad guy, but you usually just have 3 quarterbacks, right? So. Who's going to get cut, Doug? Is it going to be Drew Allar or is it going to be your boy? We shall see.
I think it should be the other guy.
I think it's Mason Rudolph.
I think he's got to be.
Yeah.
He's done absolutely nothing for the last 5 years. He's got to go.
Mason Rudolph, yeah. From? Mason Rudolph from?
Stillwater.
Oklahoma State.
That a baby. Ring the bell, Doug. Ring the bell.
Hang on, I got to find the bell. Where is the bell? Where is it?
Come on, dust it off. Dust it off. There it is. Dust it off. It's back again for football season. Good. Well, good, man. I commented earlier, rest in honor of Skip Bertman, man. What a legend in the coaching game. What a legend in LSU standards, and a guy that made a crazy an impactful impact on the game of college baseball and really brought LSU, did bring LSU to prominence and propelled LSU's baseball program to extraordinary levels that it is now. His pedigree, man, is incredible. His story of how he used to back in the day, right?
Yeah,
way years ago, like in the early '80s. I mean, it was a goat ranch, the field, right? And he brought funds there. He bought sponsorships. It started somewhere, and he continued to grow that field. Alex Box Stadium, and made it what it is today. Just the camaraderie, the community, having guys buying in, and then of course the championships came after that. So like his resume and his pedigree is elite.
He was in the College World Series 11 times, won 5 national championships. Man, you forget how dominant they were. 91, 93, 96, 97, and 2000. That's
right, and that 90s run right there. Look, he played your boy from Wichita State, Stevenson. He had some battles in the 90s with in the 91 and 93 in that College World Series. That Wichita State game when they played each other was quite a battle. I mean, Wichita State back in that day, in the 90s, 80s, was creme de la creme. That was the blue bloods of college baseball. It was definitely Oklahoma State. It was LSU, and we're getting there. Wichita State, USC, of course. I mean, we could rattle off a bunch of, college baseball teams that were so dominant and so always in that realm of being in Omaha. So
88 years old when he passed away.
Man, what a life, you know. I mean, his wife actually passed away, I believe, last year, and you know, you could tell he was holding on and all, and he, you know, old age, man. I mean, he fell down a few times, like he had an incident where he fell down like at a restaurant, and like people were, you know, like he like broke a hip and all, so you know, he was going through it, but he was one tough guy. I tell you that. He's just his motivational speaks, man. The way he spoke about, you know, you can look on YouTube, of course, but just his whole demeanor, man, his the way he related to things, the way he described things was truly special. And man, he had a gift, and he definitely impacted people.
Yeah, and it's obviously lived a very good life, and it's good to honor him for sure. But I do want to get your take on this because we only have about a minute left. We got to get out of here.
All right. Okay. Ready.
How's everybody down the bayou feeling about Jaden Daniels about right now?
Man, it's a riff now, bro. It's a riff now, Double D. It's crazy how you look at the let me spit it out. Damn, the long-term game. Now, what if Jaden Daniels, you know, gets his comeback and wants to come back years from now? It's like that's a riff because the fans are not gonna forget that. So he's self-sabotaged himself, which is crazy, right? Wait till you finish playing professional football, and then hopefully have your number retired, right? So like it's just a timing situation and not good on his regard, man. It's really, I don't like it, man. I'm very no good.
Well, he's not going to come back to LSU because honestly, he probably don't care about it. LSU. What was he there? Was he 1 year, 2 years?
2 years, yeah. 2 years. Yeah. So, but good. Y'all have a great weekend. Take care. A lot of football to watch, Doug.
All right, brother. See you, buddy. There he goes. Our Bayou buddy. We didn't even get a chance to talk about the Field of Dreams game.
That's fine.
I think it's still cool. I don't know. I watched it the first year they did it.
It's something different.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's still fascinating.
I mean, I don't know what kind of poisonous snakes they have in Iowa. I don't know how much I'd want to hide out in a cornfield until it was time to walk out like the Hall of Famers. It's it for us. Have a good weekend.
Your latest news on KGSO.
From the News